Northern League Baseball is back on the air here on YouTube. Andrew Miles with Noel Ferry from Legacy Fields in Crown Point, Indiana. And Noel, we were here last night, and the Lake County Corn Dogs picked up a big win against the Joliet Generals. Again, off some power from Doug Loden, who hit his 5th home run on the season.
Yeah, it was just another game where it seemed like everything was going right for the Corn Dogs, working as a full-fledged machine against the Joliet Generals, one of the best hitting teams in the league. But the Corn Dogs held their own. It was a great start to the day for pitching off of Peyton Olenek, temporary player for the Corn Dogs. Connor Pangburn came in relief technically for him and pitched a great game as well.
Yeah, the Corn Dogs, pitching-wise, looked phenomenal. The hitting looked great. Good news for the Corn Dogs, and something that we've been talking about in the last couple of games, the fielding was clean all around.
Yes. Only one error on the entire day, and it was a catcher's interference. That'll be an E2 for Carter Sakamoto behind the plate. But other than that, it was a clean game in the field. A lot of great plays were made, including the University of Chicago Medicine play of the game, Jacob Ferry's diving over-the-shoulder catch with bases loaded.
Yeah, and with 2 outs, so the runners were on the move on the crack of the bat, so it prevented 3 runs. But Noel, the Corn Dogs, once again, these Crestwood Panthers, and when we've seen from them, they like to put the ball in play, had nice long quality ABs, but the Corn Dogs, whenever they play these guys, they have to clean up the fielding. 9 errors in the last 2 games against the Panthers from Crestwood.
No, and that's the biggest difference maker. It was a big key factor in the previous game at Crestwood. They were able to come out of that one relatively comfortable, but 6 errors committed. You normally don't win those games like that. And then in the game here against the Crestwood Panthers at Legacy Fields, it was the errors that essentially ended the game for the Corn Dogs in extra innings. But you know that the Panthers are going to come out of the gate hot. They like to hit off a lot of foul balls. So if they don't get a pitch that they like, they're going to foul it off. They're going to get your pitch count up. So, do with that what you will, but that's going to be their game plan.
They're back here after they beat the Corn Dogs 5-2 at Legacy Field. The Corn Dogs won a big one, 10-4, earlier in the week, just 2 days ago, to get ahead in the series, 2 games to 1. And our off-square Brewing stat of the game for this one tonight is going to go to Brett Mattheis, who's gotten on base in all 15 games he's played in. He has been consistent from the plate.
Yeah, when he goes out there, cool, calm, collected, just like all the best hitters in the league are. He's a great first baseman, great right fielder, which is where he's at today, not to mention great closer.
Now, Misprint matchup preview, we're going to look at the pitchers. For the Panthers, I'm going to go with Charlie Farrow today. He has a 1-0 record and a 2.53 ERA. This will be his second start and his last start. He struck out 11 Chicago American Giants, even though he allowed 4 runs, 3 were earned over 5 innings pitched. But for the Corn Dogs, it's going to be James Burke, who has now allowed an earned run since he's been on this team.
Yeah, Jimmy Burke is the definition of consistency. And in the 4 games that he started, he's allowed 4 walks in total. He's averaging 1 walk per game, which with a team like the Corn Dogs, where they sometimes let the extra free plays bite them, he's not a guy that's going to give up too many of those.
Not too many free bases today from James Burke. Hopefully that's going to stay true in this game against the Crestwood Panthers as the Corn Dogs try to keep building on to their lead in the Northern League standing, especially when they have number 2 team on the road tomorrow, the Southland Vikings, and then on Friday they'll hit the road again against the Oilmen in Oil City. And for our University of Chicago Medicine injury report, it's all clear. We're ready to go. We're going to send it over to Tom Bialik, who just finished up the PA announcing, and we're going to do the national anthem. And when we come back, first pitch and baseball. It's always my favorite word. Baseball is here on YouTube, and when we come back, baseball will be on.
Remove your headwear and direct your attention to the American flag. Performing tonight's national anthem, Aaron Harris. Cool. Thank you, Aidan Harris. Tonight's safety announcement is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 697. The Washington Corndogs, Northern League, Legacy Fields, good sportsmanship by players, coaches, and spectators.
And welcome back into the booth after the national anthem has concluded. And it was pretty cool to see the national anthem played through electric guitar. So that's a little bit different. And the Corn Dogs are on the field. They're ready to go. Let's go through their defensive alignment for this evening's game. We'll start in the outfield as usual, going from left to right. Scott Hansen returns to the outfield after playing third base. Gavin Terry out in center, where he takes a lot of pride in his defense. Brett Mathies, who was the first baseman in yesterday's game against Joliet, returns to right field. On the infield at third base is Carter Sakamoto, who caught last night's game. Cal Curiel will make his first start at shortstop in this game. It's between Tyler Schultz and Donovan Noble this season. Colin Small is at second, and at first base is Donovan Namfeld. Behind the plate for this game is Jaden Deal. He returns after a brief illness, so he's okay. And then pitching tonight's game is Jimmy Burke, who has walked 4, struck out 18, allowed 8 hits and 1 run, which was not earned in 19 and a third innings of work. His last start was here at home against the Southland Vikings, where he pitched 5 in the third innings, allowed 2 hits, and he struck out 3, again with no runs scored against him, as he's had the Vikings number this season at home, as he was also the starting pitcher for the no-hitter earlier this year. The combined one, of course, due to the pitch counts that some of these pitchers are on, but he's been consistent. He likes to attack the strike zone. That's what you have to do against a good Panthers lineup. And for the Panthers, their lineup's going to go as this tonight. Leading off, Aidan Wright. Charlie Shaw bats second. The heart of the order is Peter Fusick, Connor Janik, and Q Noble. Alex Loss bats sixth. And then rounding out the lineup for Devontae Glenn's team is Jacob White, Maury Garrett, and Nico Pena. And as Burke finished up his warm-up pitches, we're going to look at the standings going into this game. The Corn Dogs are in first at 18-7, winning 8 of the last 10 games. Southland and the Oilmen are behind them. The Vikings 4 games out, the Oilmen at 5. Crestwood certain at 4th place right now, but only up half a game on the Generals, who are in 5th. As the Panthers are up behind 6 games on the Corn Dogs, the Generals at 6.5. And then the American Giants are in last at 4-16, and of course that one tie with Southland. So we're getting ready to go. Corn Dogs and Panthers on a beautiful Wednesday evening from the ballpark, as it hit the midway point of the week, as the Corn Dogs, after today, will have 2 more games and then a long weekend before the 4th of July on Tuesday.
Yeah, first one in a long time for the Corn Dogs. I'm sure all the players will be very appreciative of the break. And us up here in the booth.
Yes. Yeah, we get tired too. Here's the pitch, and it's a little low, and that's how our game starts. So you start exactly at 7 o'clock. 84 degrees. Not much of a breeze to talk about for today's game as Burke delivers, and it's a grounder to the left side. Curiel dives. He tackles the ball, but he has no play over at first base. So it'll be an infield single for the Crestwood Panthers. Despite the hard effort from Cal Curiel, he couldn't recover the baseball and fire it over to first base. Charlie Shaw will now come up with the runner on first base.
Yeah, props to Curiel there for being able to trap the ball. Shortstop is not his usual position. We usually see him at third, the hot corner, and potentially over at second a couple times, but it's tough, playing in these positions that you're not used to.
Burke will go off the stretch now. He's going to check over on Wright. Wright has been catching. That's what I usually know him for, but today he'll be at second base for the Panthers. Usually for catchers, you're a catcher or a first baseman, but to see second base sprinkled in there gives them good versatility. Hard line of Small. Small's going to go to first, and it hit the back of Wright. It gets away. Deal picks up the ball. He's going to fire it to second. Curiel gets to get past him, past Small, and a lot of going on there. It's going to go as a line out to second base, and then an E4 allows Aidan Wright to get to second base, but Shaw's out. At least there is one out on the play, but craziness has transpired on the field.
Yeah, it's a tough throw for Small there, as he's right on that baseline path between first and second, and you got to throw right next to the guy over to first, and you have to be careful not to hit him, and just threw it a little bit off there.
Yeah, the infield had to try to work around Wright at first base. That's why he got away from him. He tried everything he could. I'm surprised pass interference wasn't called. As Fusick ins and outs this baseball out of play for strike one.
But right off the bat, they're attacking Burke. I mean, swinging on either the first or second pitch each time we've seen here.
Well, the one that wasn't hit too hard is the one that goes for a hit. And the one that was a screamer to small was the out. Sometimes baseball comes down to luck. As Fusick hits another one off to the right for a foul ball. And Fusick has been the Iron Man. We've talked about it every time we've seen this team. But when you play in every game this season, you earn that title. As you have played in a bunch of games. And Fusick leads the league in RBIs. He's up to 26 out of the 27 games. 0-2 pitch is another foul ball, so the crowd's got to be loving it. Picking up those baseballs and running it over to the concession stand where they have free popsicles. So that's always good news for the crowd, especially on this hot day. Because there's no wind, that's what's caused it to be extremely humid from the ballpark tonight. Fusick gets ready for the pitch. Burke delivers. Ground ball back, and it's over the head of Burke. Small trying to make a play, and they did not get him. Fusick legs out an infield single. It wasn't hit too hard, and Burke, who is relatively tall, couldn't reach up and pick up the baseball, and it became a tough play for Small and Curiel. Small was able to glove it, and he made a strong throw, but Fusick just legs it out for the single. So 2 hits in the inning. Both of them have not left the infield, but there's runners on first and third for Connor Janik. Janik batting at .333 on the year. He's up to 25 hits, and a pretty cool-looking bat. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. I want to say that is the Panthers' colors he was sporting on the bat. Orange by the handle, and then blue on the barrel. And when we thought with the Panthers they were going to be red when we saw the logo, the delivery, blocked by Deal. He takes his mask off, wipes off the baseball on his right pant leg, and flips it back to Burke. Because their logo is a Cincinnati Reds logo, and I think it's even red from when you look at it. But when they arrived for the first game, I was kind of thrown off to see orange and blue, or a navy blue.
Definitely not orange in the logo.
No. Down low, 2-1. With 1 out, runners on first and third. The Panthers are threatening to score early on the Corn Dogs. The Corn Dogs and Panthers, all the games have been decided by 3 or less runs, except for that one game when the Corn Dogs won 10-4. But that came down to the end, and that is just a little bit low. It was across the plate, but just below the knees of Janik, and it's 3-1 now. So a hitter-friendly count for the Panthers in a big spot. Burke looks over to the runner at first. A little bit of a lead from Fusick. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's a called strike 2. On the base paths today is Kevin Dado, and behind home plate is Andy Pappas. The reason why I know that because I know these umpires. They've umpired a lot of my games throughout the years. Reliable umpires, say so myself. Payoff pitch, runner on the move, and it's ball 4. So Fusick will just stop at second base, and the Panthers have worked their way to loading up these bases through the 2 infield singles and that payoff walk.
And Burke is seeing himself in a tough situation here really for the first time this season. But like we were saying in a previous broadcast, it really comes down to how you can adjust to those tough situations when the pressure is on. That really determines the good pitchers from the great pitchers.
Q Noble will step up in the big spot. Let's see if Burke can get some big outs here. Corners are playing in, and the barrel breaks. Wow. It was a check swing from Noble on a fastball inside, and all he had in his hand was the handle of the bat as the knob went flying to his right. It's picked up by Alex Loss, who was on deck, and Noble just threw his hands up. He just couldn't believe that the bat broke that easily. It was almost like he had a toothpick up to the plate, and it shattered.
Yeah, I've never seen a bat break quite like that, all the way flying backwards with the guy standing with the empty handle in his hands. Wow.
The only time I've ever seen a player check his swing and the bat break was Marlon Byrd. It was after he played for the Cubs. He was with the Phillies, and he checked his swing, and his bat broke literally in his hands. No contact with the baseball. For some fans, they know that Bird got suspended relatively after that. Noble's late on the fastball, 0-2. So after he went over, got a new piece of lumber, and asked Johnny to pick him out a winner, he swings and misses 0-2. That is a natural reference. I don't know if you've seen that movie. I think his name was Johnny. Or was it Jimmy? I'll have to ask Tom. Burke is set, the 0-2. And he got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's
Burke
huge.
responds with a big strikeout. You're right, it is huge.
Not only for the confidence, but the situation at hand. Q Noble, brother of Donovan Noble.
Yes.
On the Lake County Corn Dogs, who has been absent from the field for some time now. Hope to see him come back soon.
Yeah, I miss Donovan Noble.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories of Noble so far this season is when he was playing center field because Gavin Terry had a scheduled night off. Alex Loss is the new hitter, and he's late, 0-1. And he dropped that ball in front of him, and that was the game where Matthijs ran up to second base, caught the ball, and applied the tag.
Yeah.
And I asked him about it, and he said, well, I usually give Gavin Terry a hard time about playing center field, saying it's easy. Burke delivers the 0-1. It's a slider that misses off the plate 1-1. And he goes, I was completely wrong. He goes, it's hard out there, especially with those lights. He goes, if that ball goes over the lights, you lose it.
Yeah.
You have to try and make an adjustment. He goes, I really don't know how Gavin makes those plays. But he said, don't tell him I said that, though. 1-1. Called strike 2. Burke in a big spot after allowing the bases to be loaded out on a walk to Connor Janik. He is 1 strike away from stranding the bases loaded to start today's game. He's up to 19 pitches, so not too bad of a start considering the circumstances. He's trying to keep that pitch count low because there's 2 more games later on in the week. Here's the pitch. He got him! James Burke bends but doesn't break. He strikes out Noble and Loss and strands those bases loaded. A good start for James Burke, and the Lake County Corn Dogs will come up with no score on the board. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Well, the top of the first was exciting. Hopefully the Corn Dogs can continue to make it more exciting with getting some runs on the board early against this right-handed pitcher, Charlie Farrow, who has a 1-0 record and a 2.53 ERA. This is just his second start of the season. His last start, he went against the Chicago American Giants and struck out 11. So he was pounding the strike zone and getting a lot of strikeouts. He's only allowed 1 walk this season. He made a relief appearance against the Corn Dogs on June 15th, the first ever matchup between these two teams. He went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. And he will face off against this Justin Heisman Corn Dogs starting lineup. And every starting lineup this season is brought to you by Purdue Federal Credit Union, proud partner of the Corn Dogs. And leading off, as always, on a 13-game hitting streak, it's Gavin Terry. Cal Curry out bats second. Brett Matthijs will go in Tyler Schultz's spot, batting third, so at least it's another PNW player. Danny Poplava is a designated hitter. He'll bat cleanup tonight. Scott Hansen is in left field, batting fifth. Nanfeld returns the lamp, batting 6th, and they're rounding out Heisman's lamp tonight is Sakamoto, Deal, and Small. A lot of speed in the lineup today, it feels like. And the first pitch from Farrow is on the outside corner for strike 1 against Gavin Terry. That 13-game hitting streak and 17-game multi-base streak. That means he's gone on base more than once in 17 straight games. It's low, 1-1. So that on-base percentage is up to a .557. And he has the best batting average in the league right now with a .415 clip as he went 3 for 4 last night. He takes another one just off the corner, 2-1. And that's what leads to the very high OBP for Terry is he just does not chase anything that's off the border.
Oh, he'll watch you go past him if he needs to.
He hits one up in the center field. Coming in is Pena. He won't have a play, and that hitting streak extends to one more game. That's now 14 straight games for Gavin Terry with a base hit. That's an incredible. He's got a long ways to go before 56, but 14 is still really good.
Well, yeah. We were talking yesterday about how when Peyton Olenek was pitching, it looked like he was playing on a different plane than some of these other guys. And sometimes when Gavin Terry is at bat and these hits just come so easily for him, it kind of looks like that for him too. He just seems like he's on a different level. They're
going to check on him as it's probably a good idea to check the Skyrim report and see that Gavin Terry has 16 stolen bases on the year. It's atop the Northern League this season. So always got to keep an eye out for Terry. He's got a good lead at first base. Curiel is at the dish. Bat over his head. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back, and it does not hit him. And it's ball 1. Curiel has picked up 5 RBIs in his last 3 games. So he's been producing. His last at-bat against the Panthers earlier this week in the 10-4 win, he hit that 2 RBI double off the wall. I thought maybe it was going to be his first home run of the year as it clanked off it. He shows another bunt, and Farrow throws one through the strike zone for called strike, and it's 1-1 now. Charlie Farrow is on the mound. He has 1 save on the year, too, just his second start in 4 games he's appeared in. That one runs in tight to Curiel. Almost got him. 2 balls and a strike. Talked to Gavin Terry yesterday for being the Macron player of the game and said, you know, your stats have looked incredible. Do you ever just think about how am I doing this? How am I doing it so well? He goes, to be honest with you, I don't really check. He goes, I just come out here and I play and I just try to have fun. Farrow steps off and they're going to call a balk. They're going to call a balk on Farrow, and Gavin Terry will move up to second base without a play. And I think I say this every game now, especially when Terry gets on base. Speed kills.
Yeah. If he's not stealing second right there,
he's got to think about it.
He's got the pitcher thinking about it. He's got him thinking about going to second. So now with the runner in scoring position, this really changes things here.
Yeah, Terry can stretch a walk or a single into a double or possibly a triple if he can get a good jump on the pitcher. Curiel 2-1 pitch. It runs down low, and it's 3 balls and a strike. So a hitter-friendly count for Curiel, who's trying to pick up his 6th RBI in the last 4 games, as he continues to live up to that nickname, the Cardiac Kid. Wearing those blue gloves and the blue tape underneath it. Always my favorite combo for some of these players. The pitch. Curiel swings and just misses it as he hit straight back. And it's now a 3-2 count for Farrow, who's trying not to allow the first 2 hitters to reach base for Matthijs and Poplava, who wait on the wings. Again, our Oscar Brewing stat of the game was Brett Matthijs on that 15-game on-base streak. Every game he's played in, he's gotten on base. Payoff pitch, and no doubt about that one, is a curveball that missed, and it's ball 4 as Connor Janik kind of does a relax to Farrow after he didn't stay on top of the curve. And the Corn Dogs are cooking right now with runners on first and second for the heart of the order coming up. Matthijs, Poplava's on deck, and after him is Scott Hansen.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that pitch on a full count there because right off the bat with the delivery, you know, the batter is not going to swing at it. You know that.
Pitch off the plate, 1-0.
And if you're not 100% certain about the break of that ball, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Farrow's only issued 1 walk. That was his 2nd walk on the year. Matthijs skies one into right center field. Pena going to his left. He's retreating. He stumbles a little bit, but still makes the play. He throws a bullet from center field. Not too many players are going to throw out Gavin Terry. Terry tags up and goes to third. So that's a productive out for Brett Matthijs, who hit the ball hard. Just hit it to the deepest part of the yard. And Pena, who has played in every game this season for the Panthers, got a good jump, and that's why he continues to be in the lineup because of his defense.
Yeah, it's funny watching that ball come in and Terry running. I don't know if it was just the angle, but as the ball went above Terry's head, it almost looked like they were running at the same speed.
Yeah.
Obviously not, but
maybe they should do a foot race, Pena and Terry. Here's the pitch, and that misses. A fastball. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Runners on the corners for Popolava, who Popolava is on a 6-game hitting streak that has carried over from when he was injured until now. He's gotten a hit in every game since he came off the injured list. Pitch. Popolava swings over the fastball, 1-1.
Yeah, the Corn Dogs would have loved to have him for more of the season than he was available if it hadn't been for that injury, as he's really consistent and a great player to put in that DH spot.
Here's the pitch. As a broken bat to the left side, picked up by Garrett. He's going to flip it for a double play. So after the Corn Dogs threatened, Farrow was able to induce a 6-4-3 double play on a broken bat ground ball to Garrett, who flipped it to right, over to Jacob White at first base, and that concludes our inning. We'll go to the second inning with no score. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Well, the first inning has went, and both teams threatened between James Burke and Charlie Farrow. Both of them were able to bend and not break and not allow any runs to score despite the traffic that was on the base pass. Andrew Mild and Noel Ferry. We're going to tell you about the Great Lakes Sports Hub, as the Great Lakes Sports Hub is the official training facility of the Lake County Corn Dogs, not just another dome. Horizon Bank is also a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. We provide online conveniences that support innovative solutions for your personal, commercial, and mortgage banking needs, as well as wealth and investment services. Visit horizonbank.com to learn more today. Jacob White will lead off the inning. The second inning is just getting on their way from Legacy Field. Corn Dogs and Panthers in their fourth matchup against one another, despite some cancellations that happened. Burke delivers his first pitch, and he misses for ball 1. White is batting at .242 with 8 hits and 33 at-bats, 3 doubles, and 13 strikeouts this year. Burke was able to strike out the last 2 hitters with the bases loaded. He misses again, 2-0. And for James Burke, that mentality he has of whenever guys don't get on base, become a bulldog and become tough to get hit on them when there's runners on base. Hit hard to the right side. Small was able to knock it down in front of him, and Donovan Namfelt picks it off the dirt for out number 1. It was hit hard by White. He just hit it right to Colin Small, who was going for the backhand. It bounced off his glove, luckily not too far, as it just landed right between his legs as he was down on one knee. He picked it up, threw it low to Namfelt, but Namfelt, luckily for everyone here, is a taller fellow, was able to reach down and pick it up before it could take a hop. And it's a 4-3 putout to start the game. We'll start the second inning.
Yeah, Namfelt's a very reliable first baseman. He's got a great scoop. It's hard for me to see the stretch, honestly.
The pitch is off the plate and down low, 1-0. Yeah, I've always felt confident with Donovan Namfelt over there. The Corn Dogs have had a rotating door of
first baseman this year. Mathies, Nanfeld, Loden.
I think that's it.
The 1-0 pitch, foul ball, and it gets stuck into the fencing to our right, so no popsicles for anyone.
You know, that reminds me of The Sandlot, which I did watch.
Yeah.
You know, that's got to be an omen.
It has to be an omen?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to take this as an omen, but the thing that kind of threw me off today is Burke delivers and fires, and it misses 2-1, was we got here early because we had some media stuff to take care of with a fun video with Nicholas Johnston, then some headshots we're getting for the players. Justin Heisman didn't show up early and run the warning track like he typically does. 2-1 pitch, hit in the air, right side. Mathies coming in, going to his left. He's dancing with it, and he puts his glove up, makes the play. And there are 2 outs to start off the second inning. And has it been a much quieter top of the second than it was for the top of the first for James Burke. As he did face the bottom or the order, he will now face Nico Pena with 2 gone.
Well, not to mention all the hits that Burke saw in the first inning were they were really hard hit.
That one's hit hard, but foul, 0-1.
But all of them were almost playable by the infielders. It was really close. The Cal Curiel backhand, which he did grab and throw to first, just not in time. And then the Colin Small almost double play.
The pitch is down low. It was a changeup that missed the plate, 1-1. But, you know, a lot of baseball players are creatures of habit. It's a long season. Usually you look at the MLB, 162 games, about 50 to 60 games in this league, give and take the cancellations that happen. Hit hard to the right side. Small plays on a hop as he falls down. He gets up and throws him out. Colin Small can continuously do it all and be a pain for the side of the Crestwood Panthers, as he did win a player of the game against them because of his fielding and that 3-for-3 performance early on in this month. We go to the home half for the second. No score across the board. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the second, Corn Dogs are coming up. We're going to give it to Noel Ferry, who has a scoreboard update.
So around the Northern League, we've got the Southland Vikings taking on the Chicago American Giants at Dowling Park. Vikings up 13-6 on the Chicago American Giants. And also going on today in Oil City, the Northwest Indiana Oilmen are up 4-0 on the Joliet Generals, who just saw action here in Legacy Field yesterday. In MLB news, the Chicago Cubs are taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Top of the second, 1-0 Cubs, so that's good news for you Cubs fans out there. And then tonight at 8:30, the White Sox are going to be taking on the Anaheim Angels, where we see Shohei Ohtani pitching for the Angels and Kopech pitching for the Chicago White Sox. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Noel, and Farrow's there for a strike. Yeah, it should be a fun one out in California between the Sox and the Angels, Kopech and Ohtani. 2 pitchers that have a mean fastball, so it could turn out to be a pitcher's duel. Hansen goes fishing for the slider, 0-2. That was the best slider that Farrow has thrown, and he's ahead 0-2. As he did strand a runner, but really it was more like 2 runners, as there was a double play that retired Curiel. There's a big spot, and the Corn Dogs didn't capitalize. The pitch, it's hit onto the ground. A chopper picked up by Aidan Wright, who will go to White and get the out. So Wright to White, and there's one out.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when you say those names consecutively because they may start to blend in together.
Yeah. And it's interesting seeing here these choppy ground balls that are hit. It's so much different than at Crestwood that I think that a lot of these Panthers players in the infield right now just feel a lot more comfortable because you kind of can just stand there and, you never want to let the ball just come to you, but it's easier to do here for sure.
You can attack it more. Dan Felt takes one low, 1-0. Yeah, that was interesting at Marion Catholic High School, where the Panthers have been playing their home games this season. Upstairs, 2-0. It was some of the most wicked hops you'd ever see.
On almost every single play.
Yeah, you would have thought that maybe there was pebbles all across the infield that allowed the baseball to take the hops that it was doing. 3-0 now to Nan Felt. He took one inside, and it looks like it caught Janik, who looked like it went down to his wrist. And now there's the professional courtesy from Andy Pappas to talk to the pitcher, Farrow, with the baseball. And Janik runs over to talk to Devontae Glenn. And now he's going into the dugout. And this is interesting. Never seen anything like this where the catcher goes over to the dugout. I wonder if maybe he lost his thumb guard or he's trying to get some ice. That was weird.
Yeah, you hope nothing happened with any of the fingers.
Yeah, he's kind of bending down at the waist. He's in some serious pain on his left wrist, maybe. He's taking off the Evo shield he had there. And the Panthers coaches and manager Devontae Glenn are trying to help out their catcher, Janik. And we hope that he's okay. Josh Burnett, our videographer, is right in front of it, as he has his camera focused in on the field of play, and there's nothing really to take a picture of right now. The count is 3-0 with one out. And not even the Fusick and Pena out in the outfield are starting to play imaginary catch. See, when I play imaginary catch, I'm firing 112-mile-per-hour fastballs and getting drafted by the Chicago Cubs and pitching in Game 7 of the World Series and beating the Yankees on a perfect game.
Those moments in your head. You're always the GOAT, You
always. Yeah, I've never not been the GOAT.
Yeah.
Still waiting on Janik to return. You can't play without a catcher.
Looks like he's gearing
he's
back
still,
up.
Still hurting pretty good down there. He immediately took off for the dugout as Andy Pappas, the home plate umpire, went and talked to Farrow. And it looks like he's going to return now. I may have to catch a couple of pitches after that because Farrow did have to wait a little bit for his catcher to return. Hopefully he's okay. A good round of applause for the catcher.
You hope that this doesn't make a factor of anything.
No.
Because, to see an injury make a difference in some of these games, it just feels sometimes wrong,
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right.
And you never root for injuries.
No.
Of course. You never, even as a fan, you never root for injuries. As, some fans will say, kill him. But, so they're going to take him out. Yeah, Janik, he must be hurting. He's even shaking his head like I think he even said that something's bothering him. So Aidan Wright, who I mentioned, usually a catcher, when I'll come in from second base and will most likely start putting on the catcher's equipment, and then I'm willing to bet that the designated hitter, Alex Loss, is going to go out to second, and that's exactly what's happening. Loss is going out to second, so we're going to have a lot of defensive alignments. Actually, he's going to go to the outfield.
Left field, it looks like.
Okay, so
as here comes Q Noble.
Okay,
man.
Yeah, let's start writing off some of these. Yeah, so Noble is in the dugout. He's put on a new glove. Okay, so this is interesting turn of events at the ball game. This might be the longest at-bat of Donovan Nanfeld's career. So what I'm understanding is Aidan Wright is going to catch. Noble is going to be the first baseman.
Yeah, must be.
And Jacob White is going to play second. It's kind of hard to tell because all the infielders are now talking by third base. Okay, so they're going to do some warm-up pitches, and as they do that, we're going to try and sort out what happened. So I know that Q Noble is now playing first base. So he was in left field, no
Alex
longer.
Loss is in left field.
Alex Loss is in left. Garrett and Shaw stay at short and third, and then a new catcher is right. So who's now playing second base? 3-0 pitch, and after all that, there's a strike to the new catcher, Aidan Wright, who came in for an injured Connor Janik. Janik most likely be moved to the designated hitter or maybe out of the game, and there's ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk to Donovan Nanfelt, who's gone on base in every game besides one this season against the Oilmen, and he continues that streak by getting on base right now. And now Noel Ferry was going to go talk to Josh Lepowski to get an understanding of what's going on with everything. And I think he's supposed to confirm that everything is right. Sakamoto swings and fouls it off right below our home plate camera, and that's why it took the jolt that it did. 0-1 to the third baseman. Sakamoto caught last night's game, now playing the hot corner as he's done that numerous times this season. The pitch, breaking ball, moves in for strike 2 at front door Sakamoto. So it's Loss in left, White at second, Noble at first, and Wright behind the plate?
Yes, Jacob
Okay.
White at second. Q Noble over at first, Loss in
Set
left.
the pitch. Sakamoto hits one on the ground. Left side takes a hop for Shaw. Shaw goes to second, and it's going to be another ending double play by the Panthers. It was Jacob White, the new second baseman, that relayed it to Noble, and that is out number 2 and out number 3. If they go around the horn, we'll go to the third with no score. When we come back, Noel Ferry will be your play-by-play broadcaster.
Welcome back. Still scoreless here at Legacy Field after an interesting bottom of the second, to say the least. Here's a quick reminder that the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, Local 697, is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. As one, we are limited, but as a group, we are strong. That brings up Aidan Wright, now the catcher for the Crestwood Panthers, as that's what we usually see him playing at. He's a great catcher behind the plate and taking a new role as the leadoff hitter for these Crestwood Panthers. 1 for 1 on the day, batting .361. First pitch from Burke is right down the middle for strike 1. Wright watches that one go right past him. Yeah, you hope that for Janik, nothing too serious as the 0-1 is too high. Seems like most likely something with the wrist or the fingers. And, you know, those finger injuries can be brutal. 1-1. That one's fouled off to the left. 1-2 the count. Especially as the catcher, I mean, you're getting the ball thrown at you every single play. And if it's an injury for that left wrist of Janik, he's getting a lot of impact on it over and over again. 1-2. That one is a light ball that's hit right towards Sakamoto at third, and he makes the throw in time. It's a great play by Sakamoto there, especially for a guy who doesn't play third too much, but now can't say that too much more, as we've seen Sakamoto play third a couple times. Yeah, that ball was not hit hard at all, and Sakamoto and Curiel both converged on it. Sakamoto made the play. Charlie Shaw up for the Crestwood Panthers. Here comes the first to him. That one catches left side of the strike zone for strike one. A lot of defensive changes for the Panthers in the previous inning. 0-1. So that one's fouled straight back. But that comes as a result of just a lack of guys. You know, sometimes the Panthers have trouble putting together a full lineup of some of these games. So when you don't really have too many backups available, as the 0-2 is blasted and falls into the gap in center field. So there's a quick single for Charlie Shaw. You know, when your backup catcher is over there playing second base, and then your backup second baseman is over, I believe, at first base, and it just goes on and on to the point where you don't really have a DH anymore. But I believe I have all the substitutions put in properly. That brings up Peter Fusick, 1 for 1 on the day. And that one catches left side of the strike zone. Seems to be pretty consistent today, that left side of the strike zone, and it's a little bit higher today, the strike zone. Burke has seen a couple go just low, so he's adjusted to that. 0-1. That one's a little bit too much to the left. 1-1. Andrew said earlier we had a chance to talk to Nicholas Johnston earlier today for a quick media team visit. 1-1 is chopped right towards Colin Small at second. No play over there, but he makes the out for Fusick. 4-3 put out of Fusick, but that advances Charlie Shaw over to second base.
Now batting number 11, Connor Janik.
Brings up Connor Janik, who's still in. He'll still hit. He will act as the DH, I believe. Here comes his first. Now it's outside for ball one. So it's good to see that Janik, you know, presumably nothing too serious as he's out there with a bat. Runner over at second in scoring position. 2 outs. 1-0 to Janik. Outside once again, 2-0. And so in the first inning, Burke issued a walk, 1 walk on the day. So if his trend continues, that should be his only one on the day. But he's up to 42. We'll see how long he goes in today's game. 2-0. He delivers. And that one does catch left side. So he goes right back there, brings it in just a little bit more. And he's living there today. I mean, guys aren't reaching for it. So if he can keep getting these free strikes, he will. Fires the 2-1. And that one's hit right towards Small once again at second. It's a little choppy. No one to cover first. But Burke comes over. Good hustle by Burke to get over to cover first. And that will end the inning on a 4-1 putout. No damage done. We head to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here at Legacy Field. Still scoreless here, nothing. Bottom of the third inning. Here's a quick reminder that Ironworkers Local 395 is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Local 395 continues to forge and maintain strong partnerships with owners and contractors based on our commitment to provide excellent craftsmanship through safety, productivity, reliability, and training. Also, Ivy Tech Lake County is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. They offer higher education that's built around you, serving all Lake County with locations in Crown Point, East Chicago, and Gary. Visit ivytech.edu/Lake County to sign up today. Here's Jaden Deal up for the Lake County Corn Dogs, his first at-bat of the day. Deal dealing with a little bit of an illness earlier, but he pushes through. First pitch to Deal. It's a big swing and miss. Deal's a guy who is deceiving in a couple ways. He's got a lot of speed, but he also hits with a lot of power. He has one of the home runs that the Corn Dogs have on the season, 0-1. That one's outside. And when he makes contact, he really drives it. Not too many singles, a lot of doubles. Got a home run and a triple on the year as well. 1-1. It's fouled off to the right. I was saying previously, before the inning unfortunately ended, we were able to talk to Nicholas Johnston, and it's just really interesting to see a lot of the differences between Australian and American culture. 1-2, up too high, 2-2, and I won't get into it too much as there's some content coming out with Johnstone in the future. But, you know, certain phrases, certain things about potentially, you know, fast food restaurants. There's a big swing and miss by Deal. He goes down on strikes. Bringing up Colin Small, who has made play after play for the Corn Dogs today. He's got a lot to deal with over there at second, as a lot of guys are hitting them towards him today, and this is a Panthers team that does hit a lot of ground balls. First pitch to Small is fouled straight back. Finally took the advice of some of the people here at Legacy Field and stopped parking my car right behind the broadcaster's booth. 0-1. It's just high, 1-1. So now I have a little bit more peace of mind here in the booth as I see foul balls fouled off straight back to the left. 1-1. And that one almost makes contact with Small there as it's way inside. He backs out of the way in time, 2-1. Fires the 2-1. So that one hit off the inside of the bat. Back goes Maury Garrett to grab the quick out of Colin Small. And just like that, Corn Dogs are on track to go 1-2-3. That brings up Gavin Terry, who's 1 for 1 on the day. Won Macron Player of the Game yesterday. And as Andrew was saying earlier, Terry saying he doesn't really keep track of any of the stats or anything. That's really how it goes for a lot of players. Occasionally, you'll see players who are on track to, you know, potentially break a record. First pitch to Terry is popped up into left. It's slicing just a bit. But there is Alex Loss in left to get another quick out. Once again, my story is cut short. We head to the top of the fourth inning, still scoreless here as the Corn Dogs go 1-2-3. Welcome back to Legacy Fields. There's the throw down by Jaden Deal. Here's a quick reminder that Kuziak Construction is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. It is your complete home improvement expert. From home remodeling, repairs, and roofing, we do it right. Contact us today at 219-923-3007. Also, Attorney David Gladish represents clients that have cases involving personal injury, wrongful death, auto accidents, medical malpractice, and more. Visit dgladishlaw.com to learn more. Here's Q Noble up to bat for the Crestwood Panthers. 0 for 1 on the day. As we mentioned, brother of Donovan Noble, usual second baseman for the Lake County Corn Dogs. Burke still pitching a shutout here today, as that one's way outside for ball 1. He's looking to keep that 0 ERA perfect on the season.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, the other team has also been throwing up zeros.
So that one is absolutely crushed into right by Noble, but just got a little bit too much underneath it, and Mathies grabs the out. Good contact there. Saw it perfectly, but just underneath it, a tad too much. Mathies able to get underneath it relatively easily.
Yeah, and some would ask why is Q Noble on the Panthers instead of the Corn Dogs. It's because Donovan also played for the Panthers last year, but wanted to play for Lake County this season.
First pitch to Alex Loss is fouled straight back, the inside of the bat. Yeah, a lot of these guys have seen Northern League action before. I believe Jake Ferry was on the Oilmen last year. Tyler Schultz was on the Panthers last year, 0-1. There's another one fouled straight back, and that, I thought it knocked the baseball loose. I saw something go flying.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a broken camera.
Yeah.
Let's keep that out.
Yeah, as long as nothing is, it would have to hit a specific link, chain link.
Yes.
0-2. That one is good piece of contact there. It's hanging just a little too much, though, underneath his Mathies, and they grab another good out. But that's another, great contact. Just hung it up a little bit too much.
Yeah, and for James Burke, he's allowed some good contact, but it seems as though the last couple of innings he's been able to stay away from barrels and induce some weak contact, as that one was hit decently hard, but it was a routine play for Mathies.
It's a big cut by Jacob White.
But you can tell it's starting to become Nat season here at the ballpark. Yeah. They are everywhere. We are doing everything we can.
Lots of insects. Another big swing and a miss from White.
Yeah, just wait till the lights come on. It's a sight to see. All the bugs that hung up around the ballpark.
Burke looking for strikeout number 3, as that one's hit right into the gap between first and second. And there's a quick single for Jacob White. Panthers have something going. Top of the 4th. 2 outs brings up Maury Garrett.
Well, this is the second inning in a row where Burke got the quick 2 outs and was looking like a 1-2-3 inning, and then a 2-out single. And I think he's used to pitching out of the stretch at this point. He's still got the bottom of the order. He just needs to get that 3rd out and get his team back up to the plate, especially with 2, 3, 4 coming up.
Wind up. Here's the first pitch to Garrett, and that one's up too high. Yeah, you don't mind the singles as long as, they don't pile up, and that's not been the case here for the Panthers. Other than that first inning, a little shaky, but that was off of a couple of different things, not just the singles. 1-0. That one's outside. Knock on wood, knocking on the little wooden corn dog here. The fielding has looked pretty good for the Corn Dogs tonight.
Yeah, especially Colin Small over at second base. He's been really busy over there. Anything hit to the right side. All those fielders have been having a busy night.
The 2-0 is fouled off to the right. Glad we don't have any sort of peewee or high school team practices going around here by Legacy Fields. As we've seen a soccer practice and a football practice having to yell heads up a lot.
And holding your breath,
It creates a stressful situation.
Yeah.
2-1. That's strike 2 called.
Andy Pappas was in the middle of going through strike 3 call, but realized it was only strike 2. So he caught himself. He put the flat arm up and was about ready to pull it, but then looked down at his his I guess you call that a
Counter?
counter.
Yeah.
And realized it was only said strike one. They flipped it, and he goes strike two. But at least we know what's going to look like if it is strike three looking. I don't think we've seen that yet tonight.
Yeah. Deuces wild here. Burke going for number 3. And that one is crushed into left, but underneath is Scott Hansen. And so 3 flyouts into the outfield for the Crestwood Panthers here in the top of the 4th. And Burke is happy to have those great outfielders out there for him. We head to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless. Welcome back to Legacy Fields. I'm Noel Ferry with Andrew Mild. And here's a quick reminder that Macron is the official jersey partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Work hard, but play harder. And that's what we're going to need to see here at Legacy Fields. If either of these teams is going to want to score here, it's been pitcher's duel to start off with. Not too many strikeouts, though. It's just good plays by the defense and the right contact made by pitchers so far.
Yeah, James Burke, 2 strikeouts, and Farrell, 1 strikeout.
Yeah.
So
already
you
through half the game.
Yeah.
First pitch to Curiel is inside.
Yeah, we are halfway home and only 3 strikeouts, which is not something we're used to seeing, but a lot of balls being put in play today, and the game's been going here really quick. We're almost to an hour of game time.
1-0 is chopped down by Curiel. Here comes Rory Garrett, but it gets past him. Curiel gets a quick infield single, and the leadoff batter is over at first.
Yeah, that's a good swing from Curiel. And what I really like from the Corn Dogs is when they have the up the middle to opposite field approach. Terry's hit was up the middle. That's where he likes to live, and that's what Cal Curiel does. And even if Garrett did wrangle in that baseball, I don't think there's any way he would be able to get Curiel at first base.
No, Curiel's got a lot of speed. First pitch to Mattheis is way outside.
But the way this game is going, whoever scores first and whichever team blinks first might be the big difference in the ball game. Runs are hard to come by.
Throw over to first. And both teams, I will say, are very good at putting up a lot of goose eggs against each other. I mean, usually the runs are not consistently scored throughout the game. It comes in inning bursts. And that's been the case a lot of times. 1-0, down low, too slow. And I can't think of another one to rhyme.
Too low, too slow.
That's a no-go.
We're waiting for someone to deliver the first blow.
Exactly. That one's too high, and I'm not gonna keep that going. 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you think of anything to go with high on the top of your head that would go with baseball?
Too high.
It was close to the sky.
And that's strike 1 called.
And why are we trying to rhyme right now?
I have no idea.
It's been a long season,
It's
folks,
been a
as
long
you can
season.
tell.
We're only halfway done. 3-1. Runner at first. Ball 4. 5 pitch walk. And yeah, that's just good takes by Mattheis. Didn't have to take the bat off his shoulder.
Yeah, he had that type of day yesterday. Mattheis got walked 3 times yesterday, so a walk again today. He's been walked 4 times in the last 2 games where he's been the batter.
Well, and that extends the streak for reaching base in every single game that Mattheis has hit in.
That's 16.
First pitch to Paplava is hit straight up into right field. Looks like Curiel's going to tag up, and he does. And he'll easily get over at third. So another pop out by Puplava over into right field. But Curiel advances to third, and the Corn Dogs are looking to strike first.
Well, the Corn Dogs did this earlier in the game in the first inning. It was a single and a walk and then a fly out to the outfield, except this time it was the right instead of center.
Okay.
And this is where the Corn Dogs need to capitalize. It was Puplava that hit into the double play the last time the Corn Dogs had runners on the corners and went out. Need Hansen to deliver here and start a spark for the Corn Dogs offense.
First pitch to Hansen. It's chopped, but that's foul. 0-1. And Aidan Wright attempts to make a play on it. Nothing to be done there.
Yeah, now I feel like you have to check your defensive alignment cheat sheet every time there's a ball put in play. 'Cause it's not the same.
0-1. Big cut by Hansen. That one looked like he was going golfing. That was straight down. He was hacking at it.
Yeah, it was a good breaking ball from Farrow. It's been really nasty since the first inning. He may go back to the fastball here after doubling up.
Could blow it right past him. 0-2. And that is strike 3 called on Hansen. Hansen was able to grab a hit in the previous game, but I wouldn't say the struggles continue, but Hansen just not as consistent as he was looking at the start of the year.
Yeah, he saw 3 straight breaking balls right there, and he swung and missed at all 3 of them. He just didn't look comfortable when he sees a breaking ball, and if you want to get to the next level, you got to be better at doing that.
Nanfeld sees one, another great breaking ball, but that one just goes a bit too low.
Now, if you're the Corn Dogs, you've seen it, breaking ball after breaking ball. You got to start sitting on it and maybe reacting to the fastball.
1-0. There's a fastball that goes straight down the middle of the plate, and I like that pitch there from Farrow. I mean, Nanfeld really wasn't expecting it. He wasn't planning on taking the bat off his shoulder. 1-1, 2 outs. And that one gets past Aidan Wright. Here comes Curiel, and no play is made. Corn Dogs score on the pass ball between the legs of Aidan Wright. We'll count it as a wild pitch.
Yeah, right there, Farrow's showing a lot of confidence in that slider. He threw it over and over and over again. Last 5 pitches, 4 of them have been the same, and Nanfeld had a good take and just went right through Aidan Wright's legs and right to the backstop, and the Corn Dogs hit the first run due to that wild pitch.
Corn Dogs have done that a couple times this season, scored off a wild pitch to start off the game. So it's those little mistakes. That one's fouled off to the right. 2-2.
So now you saw a fastball, and he's been going slider fastball this entire at-bat. So I'd sit on the fastball here, react to the slider, because you have time to foul off the slider if you don't like it. But if you're Nanfeld, this is working right for him if he wants to go in the right center.
2-2. That one doesn't break quite enough. It's up too high. Full count. Runner in scoring position. Carter Sakamoto on deck.
Just try to get to the next guy. Don't have to play hero ball right there. Just do whatever you can to get on base. If it's in the strike zone, drive it somewhere, and Matthews will be going on contact unless it's hit to the third baseman.
Payoff is up too high. Ball 4.
That is a phenomenal take from Nanfeld. That high fastball can be sometimes really hard to lay off of. I think every Little League baseball player at some point or another had to learn not to swing at the high pitch, and Nanfeld right there started his momentum and stopped immediately because he realized it was ball 4. He took it, and now you get Carter Sakamoto in that bat. And if Sakamoto can deliver here, it might give him more confidence up at the dish.
Definitely. You can see in the body language, he gets frustrated as that one is chopped by Sakamoto, and it's going to go over the head of White over at second. And here is Matthews crossing the plate. And the Corn Dogs tack on another one from a great hit for Sakamoto. He ends the streak and drives one in for the Corn Dogs.
And he was pretty pumped up, and rightfully so. That's his first hit since June 10th. And anything they started, a bloop single over the head of Jacob White to get a run in, will get you that confidence. And now when you come up to the dish, it's not going to feel like the baseball is the size of a seed. It's going to start to be a little bit bigger, maybe more like a grapefruit or a beach ball.
And not to mention, the balls that Sakamoto was hitting,
yes,
as that one's outside for ball 1, they weren't, he was getting good contact.
They were hit hard,
regularly.
yeah.
He's hitting them hard. It was just always right into the hands and gloves of the defenders.
Last night was a perfect example for him. as he hit 2 one-hoppers to the shortstop.
1-0, up too high.
Against the Generals yesterday, that was Munoz that was there, and he threw him out. And even the third time he made good contact, just hit it into the air, just underneath it a little bit. It was only a matter of time.
2-0. Inside for ball 3.
This is the Corn Dogs inning that they needed. But what's been consistent against the Panthers is once they get a lead, they start to play a little bit of sloppy defense. If they can clean it up, they should be able to hold on.
Shows bunt, and that's ball 4. That was an easy pullback by Jaden Deal, as that one was going way outside from the start.
Think about this, Noel. Since the strikeout of Hansen, walk, RBI single, and walk. So the Corn Dogs are doing damage with 2 outs. And you and I mean, we're going to sound like broken records to the fans, but we've talked about that a lot. Corn Dog situational hitting has been oftentimes been kind of scarce.
Yeah, it has been non-existent.
Yeah, and the last couple of games I feel like it's been going a lot better when these big spots come up. And for the Corn Dogs, they need that, especially when they're trying to win a regular season championship, when they're trying to get into the playoffs and play these really good teams.
First pitch to Small. Strike 1 called. That's fastball right down the middle of the plate.
And when you get into the playoffs, Noel, it's going to be the ace pitcher almost every time.
This is, you're going to be facing the best competition at all points. 0-1 to Small is another big swing and a miss. And this is Small's first at-bat of the season with bases loaded. So we'll see how he can deliver in a big moment, especially with 2 outs. Could bust this game wide open. That one's outside for ball 1. It's a good take.
But like here, look at this. 172 average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. That is a pretty low stat.
Yeah. Just don't capitalize when they need to. As that one's outside once again, another good take from Small. And now 2-2. The mind games begin because you can really work this and attempt to go for that easy score off of a walk. You don't want to chase anything here. 2-2. And that one is just outside. Farrow not happy about that one. And that's about as close to the strike zone as you can get.
Yeah, I think you could have put a sheet of paper between the baseball and the strike zone right there. Pappas has been consistent, but big pitch.
Payoff. And that one's hit. It's a play. Corralled by Charlie Shaw over at third, and he makes the play. So Crestwood Panthers get out of that one on a great play by Shaw over at third, but not before the Corn Dogs grab 2 off of them, making it a 2-0 ball game. James Burke has some comfort there. We head to the top of the 5th inning. 2-0. Corn Dogs on top of the Crestwood Panthers. I'm Noel Ferry, sending it off to Andrew Mild for your play-by-play.
Hey, thanks, Noel. And I want to tell you guys about Misprint, who's the official printing partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. We specialize in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Big or small, we do it all. Visit misprintindiana.com to learn more about our services. That's misprintindiana.com. And due up for the Panthers is the 9-hitter Nico Pena, Aidan Wright, and Charlie Shaw, who are dealing with a 2-0 lead from the Lake County Corn Dogs. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits and a couple of walks It was the inning that the Corn Dogs have been looking for, as Burke has been pitching effectively and efficiently since that first inning. As history has gone thus far, it should be 2 outs and then a hit for the Panthers. And it's fouled straight back, and now our camera has really started to work its way to the right. So let's switch cameras for now, so you guys can see the field of play. As our camera is, you can only see the right side of the infield. 0-1, hit to the right side. Colin Small is there. He gloves it, and Donovan Namfelt receives it for out number 1. Colin Small has been busy. He's had a lot of assists at second base. That was the 5th assist from Colin Small at second base today, as all these Panthers hitters are trying to go that opposite way, but they keep finding the vacuum cleaner that is Colin Small. Burke winds up and delivers. He drops in a breaking ball for a strike to Aidan Wright, who is 1 for 2 with a ground out to Sakamoto at third. And then a single that just got past Cal Curiel at short in the first. 1-1's the count now after that miss. And a little bit of news from Major League Baseball today. Freddie Freeman revealed why he fired his agent. Now, I'll say in a second. The 1-1, that's inside, 2-1. His agent didn't tell him the final offer from the Braves because he knew he would take the deal, and then he would go to the Dodgers. And that's why he's there. He found out this weekend when the Dodgers were playing Atlanta. Lifted into the air, down the line. He goes past one of the lights and close to the misprint signs down the right field line, 2-2. And the reason why is there's probably a good chance that the Dodgers offered more money than the Atlanta Braves, because the Braves are kind of strapped for cash at this point. Break-even pitch is hit into center field for a single. Aidan Wright just stuck the barrel out there, made contact, hit it right back where it came from, and he's now 2 for 3 on the day, as he has 2 of the 5 hits from the Panthers today. That will send up Charlie Shaw in this at-bat. And anyway, the agents make about 10% of the contract. So there's a good chance that Charlie Close wanted more money, and that's how he got it, was not telling Freddie Freeman about Atlanta's deal. That misses, ball 1. Nicholas Johnston, who caught Burke before the inning, said that he was happy with it because he is a Dodgers fan by trade, considering he's from Australia. There's not much to choose from. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out the pitch. Up and in, too close to comfort for Shaw, 2-0. As he went down on one knee.
Well, and that's just inexcusable.
It is.
It's absolutely terrible, as he meant so much to the fans, and to make that decision for him is just terrible.
The pitch, and it's fouled off, 2-1. 1 out, runner on first. And I think what really was the nail in the coffin was that the Braves didn't hear back because Freeman didn't know there was a contract offered. So then the Braves had to pivot, and they traded for Matt Olson from Oakland. And then after that, that's when Freeman decided he was going to be a Dodger, check on the runner, and not in time. His Wright's back in there safely. Count remains 2-1. And you'd probably do the same thing for Freddie Freeman and the Braves. So Charlie Close robbed Freeman of possibly retiring as a Brave without ever leaving for another team. The pitch, and it's a foul ball. It's a screamer down the line. Do 2-2, and for the Panthers today, it seems like everything is the opposite way or up the middle, and I think that's what allows them to hit so many foul balls, is they don't get fooled on these breaking balls because they're not swinging early, and that's what leads to very long ABs from this squad. Another check on the runner. Wright is safe. The NFL will return the ball to James Burke as the bullpen is stirring for the Corn Dogs. It looks like it's Jorge Santos, as it's usually the glove that gives it away, as he has most of the vibrant glove on the team. Strikeout. He got him with the fastball down the middle. Shaw swung right through it, couldn't make contact, and that's the first strikeout for James Burke since the first inning. He closed Alex Loss with a strikeout, and after that, there's a lot of ground balls to second and to the outfield. Fly balls there, of course. And that's the first strikeout in quite some time. Runner in safely at first base. We do have a final in the Northern League, though. The Southland Vikings won 16-6 at home against the American Giants. They'll be playing the Corn Dogs tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Fusick ins and outs this one to the right and out of play, 0-1. If I'm a kid right now and I want that popsicle, I'm in right field. There's no way I'm anywhere else but right field right now, especially when the Panthers are up at the plate. It seems as though we have said foul ball down the right field line consistently, like we're a broken toy that you keep hitting the button and it's only saying that one.
And lots of hits to Colin Small over there as well.
Gets one, gets past Deal. Right will move up to second base on the wild pitch as there are 2 outs. And hopefully Burke can get the out here and keep this at a 2-run cushion for the Corn Dogs.
Yeah, the balls are all got a magnet over there to right field today. Small, as Andrew said, has 5 assists. And also now over at second, Aidan Wright, as the leadoff hitter, which is something that he has recently taken on. He's batting a .455. With a qualifying amount of at-bats.
This is down low. 2 balls and a strike to the RBI king that the Panthers have nicknamed Fusick. And to be an RBI king, you also have to have some really good pawns, really, or maybe bishops or kingsmen. That's the top of the order that hits in front of you. The pitch, it's a called strike, painted right on the black, 2-2. What I mean by that, though, before this 2-2 pitch, you have to have guys on base to score in runs. That's as simple as that. Barry Bonds, who hit numerous home runs, never once led the National League in RBIs because of that. And Fusick, if he does win the RBI title, would have to shake hands with his leadoff hitters. Payoff pitch. Hit on the ground, left side. It's past Sakamoto and Curiel in the left field. And Wright never broke stride. He scores as there was no communication by Curiel and Sakamoto. And the Panthers benefit from a single, and Fusick picks up another RBI. He's now 2 for 3 on the game.
Yeah, and visible frustration there from Sakamoto. But, as Wright was just passing, he timed it perfectly, came right in front of the fielders as the ball was coming to cause a little bit of confusion, and went right past him. And both Curiel and Sakamoto didn't even attempt to go back to make any sort of play on the ball after that.
Yeah, it was almost as though Aidan Wright was setting a screen, kind of like they do in hockey, where they put a player in front of the goalie so the goalie can't find the puck. And because of that, Sakamoto and Curiel couldn't locate the baseball. They both stabbed at it with their gloves, but instead it leaked its way in the left, and Wright scores, and the Corn Dogs' 2-0 lead is now 2-1. So the lead's been cut right in the half after just half an inning. But Burke still has some work to do. He's at 74 pitches and battles Connor Janik here with Fusick standing on first base. Another ground ball to the left side. Sakamoto comes up early. He's going to have to fire a bolt to first, and he's out. A great stretch from Donovan Nanfelt as Sakamoto, luckily for him, does have a cannon attached to his right arm as he is a catcher by trade. He was able to throw out Janik by half a step. It was a bang-bang play. It will go to the bottom of the 5th. Now a 2-1 ball game. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Corn Dogs side of the 5th inning. Andrew Mild and Noel Ferry up in the booth. And Off Square Brewing is off to our right underneath the pavilion. is the official brewing partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. At Off Square Brewing, we strive to be just that. Off Square. We think and brew outside the box. Gavin Terry comes up 1 for 2 in the game. He sees the first pitch, and he lines one in the center field, but Pena just drifts back slightly, and he makes the first play. So he puts out Gavin Terry. Terry put a good swing on it, just happened to find his counterpart position in center field. He's now 1 for 3, and Curiel will come up after just one pitch to Terry. And I laugh at the Off Square Brewing ad read because yesterday Noel had a little bit of a Off Square Brewing thought.
Yeah.
Curiel takes one up, Sarah's ball 1. I asked him kind of the rhetorical question that some coaches and fans will ask, like, why is everything at base besides home plate?
Uh-huh.
The pitch is a strike, 1-1. And Noel goes, my argument is that the plate is lower and
It's
that the
flat.
bases are higher. Which
It's flat, like a plate.
I mean, he's not wrong. The plate is in the ground. The pitch, and it's a good take by Curiel. He tried to hold up his swing. They're going to check, and he did hold up his swing. Can confirm now to Kevin Dado. 2 balls and a strike. And we kind of made a joke that was an off-square thought. And I was kind of thinking about that on the drive over here. Here's the pitch, and Curiel takes a strike 2-2 as a fastball. And the reason why they said off-square, because the square is in the shape of a square, of course.
Yeah.
And so are boxes.
Exactly.
So you're thinking outside the box or the square. So that fits perfectly. It finally came to me after reading that ad read numerous times this season.
I'm a thinker.
If we've played 26 games, I'm willing to bet I've read that one 20 times.
Yeah.
Good percentage. Break-even pitch is a Snapdragon slider that wasn't close to the strike zone. It started off the plate and went even further off. And 3-2 to Curiel. Curiel's reached base twice today and has scored a run as he was the first person to cross the plate today on the wild pitch. 3-2. And ball 4. Another great take by Cal Curiel. He's been on board all 3 times tonight out of that 2-hole.
Perfect on the day. Remain patient and next guy up mentality. Here's Mattheis, one of the better hitters on the Corn Dog.
Yeah.
He's looking to get something going.
Talk about another guy that's remained patient. What was that stat we said? 4 walks in the last 2 games. Reached base in all 16 games where he's been the batter. He swings and misses at a good changeup, 0-1.
Hey, he just missed that one.
So, of course, we talk about how he's patient, and then he swings at a first-pitch changeup.
Yeah.
Broadcasters jinx strikes again. That's a horror movie for some broadcasters. 0-1. Curiel thought about going, and it was in on the hands of Mattheis, who hits off to the left this time. 0-2. He was late on a fastball. Mattheis, of course, we say when he's a batter, because it may mark that he's been in different games because he's been used as a relief pitcher, as he is a southpaw pitcher. 0-2. And a check swing, and serves as a foul ball as Mattheis stays alive to see another one. So him and Doug Loden, both really good hitters, also effective pitchers, have both been used as closers. Mattheis has a couple saves. Loden has a save. Up and away, 1-2 to Mattheis. So, and Doug Loden is at the ballpark today. He won't be batting as of now. There's a good chance we'll see him come out of the bullpen later on in the ball game, especially if there is a save situation. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Curiel's on the move. Ball in the dirt. So it will be no play at second base. Curiel will be standing up, and he picks up a stolen base. A great jump by Curiel. It was going to be a tough play for Aidan Wright anyway. And the Corn Dogs move a runner up into scoring position for Mattheis.
Yeah, I think Wright was thinking about throwing that ball before it was even in his hands.
Ball 3. That one missed up and away to Mattheis, and it's 3-2. And that stolen base for the Corn Dogs is number 69 on the year. And one more, they'll be at 70 as they still lead the league in that category. There's the pause at the belt is Farrow. 2 checks and the pitch. Mattheis swings underneath it, hits it into the air. Shaw is calling for it, and he puts it away for out number 2. So Mattheis put a good swing on the baseball, just a couple of inches below it, and it caused a weak pop-up on the infield. And Danny Poplava will step up to the plate in a big spot. The Corn Dogs want to add an insurance run and create some breathing room against these Panthers, as there's a good chance the Corn Dogs might be dipping into the bullpen with Burke exactly at 75 pitches. Poplava lifts it up into the air, and it goes out of play to the Off Square Brewing Pavilion. It's 0-1 to start off this at-bat. 2 gone, runner on second base. Corn Dogs looking for a big hit from Poplava, who is 0 for 2 with a double play and a fly out to right field. 0-1, and that plants on the outside corner. 0-2. Farrow goes to a good slider. So from what we've seen from up here, it's fastball, slider, changeup combination from the right-hander with the hair poking out from behind his Navy cap. And he steps off to check on Curiel as Maury Garrett was trying to backdoor Curiel and cover the bag. And we'll have to reset. Gets the sign from his battery mate Wright. And here comes Farrow. And they're going to check to see if Poplava went. And I kind of got scared there that Dado may have said he did go, but instead he's waving off the gnats. We were down at field level today, and the gnats are really starting to pick up. It's that time of the year, almost July. We're even swatting up gnats up here. The pitch, down in the dirt, a really good take by Poplava. That slider broke about 6-7 inches and round its way up in the dirt, 2-2. And again, that's what makes the Corn Dogs really good, is not reaching at pitches like that. But hopefully they can get a hit here. Break-even pitch. That's low, 3-2. A lot of good takes from Poplava in this at-bat. He was behind 0-2 and has come all the way back to make it a full count.
Same thing with Mathis in the previous at-bat. Down 0-2, brought it all the way to 3-2.
Two bases open. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3. No doubt about that one. Poplava watched it go right by, and that strikeout for Farrow is his 3rd of the day, and he strands a Corn Dog runner. And that might be it for Farrow, and that's the case. He has pitched a good game. We head to the 6th inning, and the Corn Dogs lead it 2-1. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Five innings have come by in a breeze. We're approaching an hour-and-a-half mark from the ballpark, and there's a IBEW Local 697 pitching change as they are a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. It will be Jorge Santos in for James Burke. Santos has an 0-1 record and a 4.5 ERA, where he's pitched 8 innings, struck out 13, walked 8, and allowed 4 hits. And, of course, the last time we saw Santos, he pitched that detrimental 11th inning, but allowed 3 runs to score, 2 were earned, and the Panthers would go on to win the game by a final score of 5-2 and give the Corn Dogs their 2nd loss here at Legacy Field. Due up is Noble, Loss, and White. Noble shows bunt, pulls it back, and the fastball must have been just inside, 1-0.
Yeah, for Santos, almost was able to strike out all 3. He started off good with 2 straight strikeouts.
Noble swings and misses, 1-1.
And then coming down the line, Corn Dogs had a chance to end the game right there with a good play by Schultz, but it just popped over his head.
Here's the pitch. Santos lets it stay up 2-1. Yeah, he started off with a strikeout and then a walk and a hit by pitch. Really set him up for failure. And a strikeout and then 3 straight hits. 2-1. Noble's eyes went into the air. And he'll go out of play, 2-2. But when Santos is in the strike zone, he's an effective pitcher. But when he's not, it can be the opposite story for him, as you kind of look at some of his appearances, and and that hits Noble, that was almost like a written script. As slider ran inside and caught the lead leg of Q Noble, who will be awarded first base for taking one for the team.
Yeah, Santos, what it looks like is sometimes he sacrifices a little bit of control for some velocity. He puts his whole body into his throws, and sometimes he pays the price for it.
Yeah, he is allowed to walk in every appearance but his first one against the Vikings. We went 1 inning and allowed 1 hit. And it looks like that baseball wasn't picked up, so that's why there's a bit of pause and play. But when he's in the strike zone, he's lethal. He does have more than 2 strikeouts in every appearance but the first one. Here's the pitch. He misses the corner for ball 1. So Santos has been an interesting pitcher, to say the least, for the Corn Dogs. 13 strikeouts, 8 walks through 8 innings. So he's averaging more than 1 strikeout an inning, a little less than 2, and then 1 walk. Noble's on the move, swing and the miss, the throw down the second. Small is trying to pick up the baseball as it hit the leg of Noble, as this is not backyard baseball. When you hit the guy in the leg before he reaches the base, he's not out. No pegs allowed in the Northern League, and Noble picks up a stolen base, so the tying run is moved into scoring position. 1-1 is the count now at the Loss. Loss was a DH to start the game. He's now out in left field for the Panthers after the thumb injury. Noble moving to third. Fly ball to the right side. Nanfelt looking for the wall. He makes the play, and Noble was able to get back to second base in time as he just started his takeoff towards third and realized that if Nanfelt does catch that baseball, he better be standing on second base, because that could have turned into a 3-6 double play. And for Loss, he's now 0 for 3 in this game.
Yeah, Noble on that, he lucky that he didn't put too much into that commitment there to run over to third, but it sliced up into the air just enough for him to have time to run back.
Long pass from Santos. He delivers, and it gets past Deal to the backstop, and Noble will take third base, as that is a wild pitch. That's almost the definition of a wild pitch, as Santos had that one sail over the head of his catcher, who I don't even think the Deshante Caraway from Joliet yesterday could have leaped up into the air and brought that one in.
No.
1 ball and no strikes with 1 out, and the whole infield is now playing in. So all the white uniforms on the lip of the grass. Santos fires one, and it missed the inside corner. Popped out of the glove of Deal. Luckily, Noble didn't get a good read at third. He'll stay over there. It just trickled away from Deal to his right. And the Corn Dogs are trying to prevent Noble from scoring and tying this game up. And not seeing any pitchers warm up right now. Actually, there is a pitcher warming up for the Crestwood Panthers. Can't tell who it is, as that's the only side where it's blocked from view from us, as that pitcher is just low and high enough, I don't know how else to describe this, where you see his pants and his socks, but never the uniform. Not even the face, really. You see a pitcher warming up, and that's your best guess after that. Kind of reminds me when I'm at Butler. The bullpen for the Bulldogs is beyond the left field wall.
Okay.
And if they're wearing their white jerseys, you can tell someone's warming up, but you have no clue who it could be. It's almost like the old dating game from the 60s where they tell you everything about them. Here's the pitch. Down and in 3-0 to White, who's not seen one cross the plate in this at-bat. And you don't get to see them until after. That's when you need your binoculars. I don't know if it serves us any well right here.
A lot of iterations of that game show.
Ball 4, back to the backstop again, and the Panthers pick up a run due to wild pitches and a stolen base, and they have a runner on first base. It is now 2-2, as they have not put the ball in play this entire inning, and they tie it up quickly as the Corn Dogs have taken the lead. That is just frustrating in any sense of the word.
3 of those 4 pitches on that walk were wild pitches.
Yeah.
And, luckily for the Corn Dogs, Noble didn't take off on the one that got out of the hands of Deal. Probably wouldn't have made it there, but he didn't have to, as he just scored on another one.
And the go-ahead run's now standing on first base for Maury Garrett. Nico Pena is on deck. Garrett's 0 for 2. Pena is also 0 for 2. And there's a strike popped down the glove of Deal, and it's not the end of 1. As the Corn Dogs feel there's nothing really they could do. They just had to watch the Panthers go around the bases and score on a couple of wild pitches. 0-1, foul off to the right, 0-2. as Noel Fair did a great job of putting our camera back on the angle where you guys can see the entire field and not just from the pitcher's mound to the right, that camera has slowly worked its way in that direction due to the force of the foul balls hitting the fence right next to it. 0-2. And a foul ball into the glove for strike 3. So Santos bounces back and gets a strikeout. That's his first, and that's the second out.
Well, he's lucky to blow 3 straight fastballs past the batter there, Garrett. But when you have all these wild pitches and everything and you're really looking for a strike, it forces you to go to the fastball and just be desperate and just try to get something right down the middle of the plate, and sometimes that can come back to bite you.
Pena hits one straight back onto the chain link fence for strike number 1 with 2 outs in a 2-2 game. It's a lot like the last Legacy Field matchup between these two teams where both teams are knotted up at 2 apiece. Santos delivers and induces a swing and a miss. He's had 0-2. So after the walk to White where he threw 4 straight out of the zone, he has now thrown 5 straight strikes and is 1 strike away from striking out the last 2 hitters. Here he comes, and that's a good waste pitch. Let it stay up in the zone. Try to get another swing and offer from Pena, but instead Pena lays off 1 ball and 2 strikes. Due up for the Corn Dogs in the next inning is Nanfelt Sakamoto and Deal. High fly, right side. This is going to stay in the park. Small goes to his left and makes a nice running grab to make the 3rd out and end this inning. But the Panthers score 1 run without ever putting the ball in play to a hit by pitch, stolen base, and 2 wild pitches. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, knotted up at 2 apiece. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the 6th inning now, and there's a new pitcher on the mound. It's Will Mail, and it's another IBEW Local 697 pitching change as Mail will come in just his 2nd appearance. He made a start earlier this year. We went 4 innings, had 4 Ks, 4 walks, and yes, 2 hits. And that was against the Generals in a 9-8 victory for the Panthers. And now he'll face off against the Corn Dogs. He fires his first pitch, and he misses for ball 1 as he is a Munster High School graduate and will be going to Johns Hopkins University. I believe they are the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
1-0 pitch. Upstairs 2-0. I think the only reason why I know that is because a certain line from Step Brothers, maybe looking him up one time. And for those who've watched it, they know exactly what I mean. The pitch hit off to the right. It was a screamer. That's out of play, and it's 2-1 to Scott Hansen, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout swinging.
Here's a fun fact for you. I've actually played a basketball game against Will Mayo out on the mound right now.
Down and away, 3-1. Yeah, both of you were Munster Mustangs.
Yes, and actually 2 basketball games, one of those coming in the playoffs of the intramural league that I was in, and we were able to come away victorious.
Please tell me when he hits a 3, he says, "You got mail." The pitch. Hansen takes one right down Broadway for strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And for Farrow, he closes his night off with 5 innings. Pitched 3 hits, 2 runs, 6 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Payoff pitch from Mail. Scott Hansen hits a hard grounder to the right. Jacob White goes to his knees, comes up, and retires Hansen for the first out. As Hansen hit that ball hard, went right through the infield. Unfortunately for him, Jacob White was positioned perfectly, went down to a catcher's stance, and that's the first out. Nanfelt comes up with no official at bat as he has 2 walks.
Nanfelt.
But Mail spells his name Moell, so I would have never guessed that's how you pronounce Mail. Pitch, down and away, 1-0. Found out another way to say Mail today due to our friend Nicholas Johnston. I guess I can kind of let them in on what we did today. He pitched to Nanfelt. Nanfelt takes it for a strike at the top of the zone, 1-1. A bloke. That's a Mail.
Yeah.
But
right.
spelled M-A-L-E, not M-A-I-L. 1-1. Down low, 2-1, the curveball. That was some of the kind of like a hint for Nicholas Johnson and what we did with him and his nationality of Australia. The pitch, 3-1 now, as Donovan Nanfelt may go 0 for 0 with 3 walks in the ball game. As you consider Kevin Youkilis's nickname in Moneyball, the Greek god of walks. Here's the pitch. And he takes ball 4. 3 at-bats, 3 walks for Donovan Nanfelt. He'll be standing on first base for Carter Sakamoto.
Well, can't be mad about it. Don't swing the bat too much today. You get on base, but occasionally you like to see a little bit of action.
OBP is going up. That's all that matters now in the game of baseball. And, of course, home runs, which is interesting. Pitch to Sakamoto. He takes it for a strike. Doug Loden, who hit home run number 5 yesterday, if you didn't tune into yesterday's ball game, which, 1, how dare you, and 2, you missed a good one. Corn Dogs won 9-1 to improve to 18-7 on the year. 0-1 pitch. Down in the dirt, blocked by Wright. A really good block from the catcher. Kept out in front, 1-1. So Loden's 5th home run. I texted Brandon Vickery of the Oilman, who's been in the league a long time, and he's the walking statistician of Northern League Baseball since he's been here for quite some time. And I asked him, what's the record for most home runs in the year? He responded with 7. So 6 players have tied with 7. Doug Loden is only 2 home runs away from being the 7th player to do it, and 3 from becoming the first player to ever go past that mark.
Well, we're halfway through the season.
1-1. That's outside, 2-1. So you're saying maybe Doug Loden hits 10 home runs?
Potentially.
The way he's been swinging the bat, I went and put past him. He's got the night off. He might pitch later on as he is listed as a potential pitcher. But it's kind of disappointing to see him not in the lineup tonight. The 2-1 pitch. That's upstairs, 3-1. He did tell me that his mother was not happy he didn't win player of the game yesterday, as it was given to Gavin Terry. But my defense, he did get a corn dog.
Exactly.
He did get a corn dog. That's as good as getting player of the game, right?
Rewards were handed out.
Yeah. Upstairs, ball 4. Sakamoto sees 5 pitches, and 4 of them were out of the zone, and he'll go over to first base, and he'll go station to station. Donovan Nanfelt is at second now, and Jaden Deal comes up with a big spot for the Corn Dogs as they try to recapture the lead after they allowed the Panthers to score a run in the top of the 5th and another run in the top of the 6th. And actually, there is Donovan Noble. He's in the ballpark tonight, but wearing a Dodgers shirt, so I won't acknowledge him later on. Here's the pitch to Deal. That's outside, 1-0, and Aidan Wright not happy. He's going to go talk to his pitcher.
Donovan Noble's here?
Yeah, he just went right underneath us. He's right there in the blue. He's got the Corn Dogs hat on, wearing a Dodgers shirt and long black sweatpants.
I see him. Supporting the brother.
Yeah, he's supporting the brother and his team. So I guess he has to really toe the line. You ever been to not Niagara Falls, the Great Hoover Dam?
No, I have not.
Where you can be between the state of Arizona and Nevada?
I've heard of that, and there's also the point where I think it's Colorado,
Yeah, the
Utah.
Four Corners.
Yeah, yeah.
1-0 pitch. Jaden Deal clobbers one into left center field. Pena is going back, and he extends the arm and robs Jaden Deal, who hit that ball hard. Nanfelt knew that he couldn't tag up because he most likely would have been thrown out. He remains at second base, but some good wood from Jaden Deal, who almost got the Corn Dogs their third run, but Pena was able to track it down and assure that this game stays tied at 2.
That's just a good play by Pena. Ball hung up just a little bit too much. It was slicing to the left, but not quite enough.
It just seems as though with no wind tonight, that a lot of these baseballs are staying up in the hot, humid air. Colin Small comes up, shows bunt, pulls back, and did not go, and the pitch missed for 1 ball, no strike count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. As the humidity, I was told 49%, and that's why the baseball has been staying up there. Small bunts, and he misses 1-1. He stuck the bat out there, and it was a little bit late, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And because of those 2 bunts, Q Noble at first and Charlie Shaw at third are going to be looking for it now. But if Colin Small can make some good contact, he may be able to loop it over the head of one of these corner infielders. The 1-1 pitch drops in at the knees for called strike 2, 1-2. And Will Mayle is 1 out away from stranding another pair of runners for the Corn Dogs and keeping a tied game going into the 7th. Here comes Mayle. And that worked around the strike zone for a called ball 2. And Colin Small, I'm not sure how he laid off of it. Count is 2-2 with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Deuce is wild for Colin Small, the 9-hitter. Gavin Terry is on deck. Mayle delivers. That's out, 3-2. So the runners will be on the move. This will be a good time for Colin Small to pick up a hit. He did go 3 for 3 against these Panthers earlier in the year and stole 3 bases and scored a run. Runners on the move, on the pitch. Mayle delivers the 3-2, and Small swings through it. He strikes out. Mayle picks up his first strikeout and strands a pair of runners and sends us off to the 7th inning for a tied game. When we come back, Noel Ferry on the play-by-play. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back. Still tied up 2-2 here at Legacy Field. I'm Noel Ferry with your play-by-play, and here's a reminder that the University of Chicago is proud to be an exclusive medical provider of your Lake County Corn Dogs. UChicago Medicine is a leading community of physicians, researchers, and game changers that make a difference in your life. UChicago Medicine at the forefront. Also, Robin Salzadier with At Properties is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Whether you are purchasing a new home or selling the one that you currently own, Robin specializes in obtaining the best prices in Northwest Indiana. Call her today at 312-671-0034. That brings up Aidan Wright, once again, at the leadoff spot. 2 for 3 on the day. He's been able to see it really well as he laced one right into the gap to center field. As he hits one right towards Sakamoto at third, who is unable to make the play. And that'll be an infield single as that ball was hit hard to Sakamoto over at third. That one kind of juggled off his forearms and glove. Thought he might have corralled it, but to catching. First pitch to Charlie Shaw. That one's called for strike one. Might be having some technical difficulties here. 0-1 is another wild pitch, and that's going to send Aidan Wright over to second base easily. The struggles continue for Santos as he just can't place anything into the glove of Deal, it seems. (1-1), and there's a runner in scoring position already. Keeping an eye on Wright. The 1-1 is a swing and a miss. Santos would really love to keep this one tied and give the team a good chance to stay in it. And, you know, as always, the home team will bat last. So if you keep it tied, you've got the last shot at it. 1-2, strike three called. That is an enthusiastic call from behind the plate. It's his second strikeout of the day. Bringing up Peter Fusick, 2 for 3 on the day. So these top guys for the Panthers are delivering tonight. It's just, this is how it usually goes with these games between these two teams. Just really gritty games, low scoring. And, you know, it's hard to tell exactly what that means. Is that one's bounced in the dirt, and Wright almost hits the splits out there retreating back, but no one was covering second, so Deal didn't have a play to be made there. There's a huge gap up the middle. Fusick batting a .304 on the year. Leading the league in RBIs. He could grab another one right here. So that one misses the top left corner. Strike. Ball 2. Santos up to 26 pitches. Got someone warming up in the bullpen for the Lake County Corn Dogs. I believe it is Mark Torr. Is that one missed somewhere for ball 3? Just a bit low. Deal didn't like that one. He was shaking his head at it. 3-0, and with this pitch, Santos could put runners on first and second. There's a big cut for Fusick. Can't be mad at that swing. 3-0. Would love to grab another RBI here, but he'd happily walk over to first if he needs to. Wright taking a big lead. 3-1. And that one misses just outside. Ball 4. And with that, Deal has a bit of a conversation with Santos, bringing up Connor Janik, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Runners at first and second. Santos has another big hole to dig himself out of with only 1 out. And it all started off with not the error by Sakamoto, but just not able to make a play on Wright over at first. And it was tough. Both him and Curiel were converging on the play once again, as just a little bit of a miscommunication out there, as usually you see Curiel and Schultz or someone and Schultz. So there's usually a bit of chemistry out there, but today it's Curiel and Sakamoto. And we haven't seen that yet this year, so the miscommunication has proved to be somewhat significant tonight. Runners on first and second, Connor Janik up. Santos gets a signal he likes. Here it comes. And there's strike 1 called. Caught top left corner. Santos with the teal glove on the mound. Really stylish. It reminds me of the Grizzlies throwback jerseys. That kind of blue. 0-1. That's low. Ball one, and that's been consistent. That's been the story today. Strike zone's not too low. 1-1. And in a game with a decent amount of stolen bases, comes the 1-1. It's fouled straight back. There goes camera one. Probably won't be able to get that one back up for the broadcast, but luckily, that's why we have camera two, because you can still see all the action you need to. Finally, the foul balls were just a bit too much for camera one down there. 1-2. And there's a hesitant swing and a miss from Connor Janik. Santos gets another one. That is 4 on the day. 3 on the day. And it came at a much-needed moment, as now this at-bat from Q Noble becomes even bigger. Noble looking to make a difference here today. Something hit deep could potentially score 2. First pitch. Misses up top and outside. That is Mark Torr in the bullpen. As said a little bit earlier, most likely we'll see some action after this. There goes Aidan Wright over to third. The throw. And Sakamoto to pay a bit too much attention to actually getting the ball into his glove to make any sort of play. And Wright is safe over at third. Another stolen base for the Crestwood Panthers. 1-1 to Q Noble. There's a big cut. And miss. And Fusick easily advances over to second on that one. There's another stolen base. Now runners at second and third for Noble, who's 1-2. Santos could end it here, as that one's hit into right field, and it's going to drop. That'll score 1, and the throw is not in time, and just like that, Panthers take a 4-2 lead on the Corn Dogs on the broken bat single by Q Noble. And that's something that's been the story for Santos. A lot of times he gets himself into the situation where he can get that crucial final out, but just can't finish. He can't close. And that'll continue the inning now with the Panthers on top 4-2. That one goes outside for ball 1. And what started off as a relatively quick game has almost come to a standstill here in the top of the 7th. Noble over at first, as that one is crushed. Underneath goes Mattheis, who lost it. Didn't have any sort of play. Here comes Noble. He's got a lot of speed on him. The throw home. And he got him. And that ends the inning. A great throw home by Brett Mattheis. And Noble, who has a lot of speed, just came up a bit short. And so with that, we head to the bottom of the 7th, but not before the Crestwood Panthers grab 2, 4-2, the score here at Legacy Fields. Panthers take a 4-2 lead. in the top of the 7th inning. We've got some fan interactions here up in the booth. Here's a quick reminder that Athletico Physical Therapy, proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs, treats you, not just your injury. Visit athletico.com to book your appointment today. Also, Backcourt Bar and Beverage Services can handle every type of event from venues and weddings to indoor and outdoor parties. Visit bcbarcatering.com and let us start planning the perfect event for you. Back up to the top of the order, Gavin Terry leads off for the Corn Dogs here in the bottom of the 7th, and they look to start a much-needed rally as the bats have been quiet since that 4th inning. First pitch to Terry. He thinks about it, but that's down in the dirt. Ball 1. Terry doesn't swing at that one, so we'll most likely see another patient approach. That's up high, ball 2. Mail's thrown a lot of balls today so far, and the Corn Dogs unable to capitalize off that last inning. 2-0. Inside for ball 3. Just having trouble finding the strike zone.
Well, the Corn Dogs have worked 8 walks tonight, and they need to get number 9 here and get something going.
3-0. That's strike 1. Late call. That hit top right corner. And, yeah, it's just an incredible stat to look at. 8 walks and only 2 runs scored.
Exactly.
3-1. Inside, easily, ball 4. So Corn Dogs start off with the walk. Runner on first. And Curiel, who is still perfect on the day, 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Looks to get something going. And now down by 2, you'd love to get Terry over in scoring position, but you know it's not as necessary as if you were potentially down by 1. Curiel shows bunt, but that's way outside.
Well, it looks like Curiel was trying to at least block Aidan Wright from seeing that pitch and force Mail to throw a strike, as Mail's thrown 6 pitches in this inning, and 5 of them have missed the zone, and some of them by good amount.
Yeah.
Not even competitive pitches, really.
Throw over to first. That one, Terry was caught sleeping a little bit, but he made it back in time.
It looked like Terry was about ready to take off.
Yeah.
And luckily for him, the throw was high, and he dove in.
Here comes the 1-0. Shows bunt again, and that one does catch. Top right for strike 1. Terry taking a sizable lead. Another throw over to first. And Mail missing the strike zone today, but hasn't thrown too many wild pitches yet, so he's not really shooting himself in the foot. 1-1. There goes Terry. The throw over to second is not in time. Another stolen base on the year for Gavin Terry. And that was a good throw by Aidan Wright behind the plate, just seconds, just maybe 1 second too late.
Yeah, it was a good throw, and even better attempt from Maury Garrett to apply the tag, but Terry got in there safely at stolen base number 17.
2-1. And that one's hit right towards Mayo, and that's going to go up the middle. Here comes Terry. And no attempt to throw him out at home. And Terry off the stolen base, rounds home, and the Corn Dogs have something going here in the bottom of the 7th.
No, I'm kind of blanking right now. Does Cal Correa have a nickname? Did I miss this in the Sky report?
Something to do with
the
being
heart,
one of the
right?
most clutch hitters in the Northern League. That's why they call him Cal, the cardiac kid, Curiel.
Well, I don't know if they call him that, but I know we call him that.
Yeah.
We've had a great time with
yeah.
it. But he's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored.
Matt Dye sees one go just a bit low for strike 1. A little low for his liking. Curiel over at first. And that's a good piece of hitting from Matt Dyes, but underneath is Peter Fusick. So Curiel has to retreat to first. And Matt Dyes goes to 0 for 3 on the day, but he's been seeing the ball pretty well and gotten a lot of power, and that's the case a lot of times with Matt Dyes.
Yeah,
He strike out too much.
Yeah, he's close to maybe hitting his first home run of the year at some point or another. As the last couple of games, he's out ahead on fastball. He likes it, just doesn't have enough power behind it.
First pitch to Paplava does catch top left for strike 1, and Paplava just hasn't been swinging lately. He hasn't liked anything that he's seen, but he's watching a lot go right past him. 0-1. Swings at that one, but pops it straight up. This one
trouble.
might fall into the Bermuda Triangle. It does. There goes Curiel to second. There's a bloop single for Poplava, who finally swings and is able to get something going. And Curiel barely made it over to second in time, as he thought that one wasn't going to drop.
Well, in that one, it's a tough situation if you're Cal Curiel, because you know you've been here plenty of times when the sun sets and the lights are doing all the work. Anything hitting high in the air like that is going to get lost.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to White if Fusa couldn't get there in time.
That one is fouled straight back by Hansen. Yeah, and that can put you in a tough situation when you're halfway between first and second. And we've seen some trickery here at Legacy Field quite a few times.
But I really liked from Curiel is he kept gaining momentum.
Yes.
The more he realized that ball had a better chance of dropping.
0-1 to Hansen is right down the middle for strike 2.
Nasty move on that last one. But can't strike out here. You at least put some runners in scoring position with no outs. I mean, with no force out anywhere and Nanfeld on deck.
0-2. As that one's hit into center field by Hansen. Underneath goes Nico Pena, and he makes it. Curiel tags up, but decides not to go on a great throw by Pena. He definitely would not have made that one. At smart base running by Cal Curiel.
It's just one of those nights where nothing is really carrying.
No.
As even for Mathias' fly out to right, he hit the ball hard. Hansen hit that ball hard, but again, it's a hot, humid night. Everything's staying up. Even if it's driven, it's just hanging up, and these outfielders are running right underneath it. But Nanfeld needs to hit one in the right center field and tie this game up.
Nanfeld up. Runners on first and second. And that's a good breaking ball that almost catches inside for strike 1, but that's in for a ball.
0 for 0, 3 walks. That's the story of Donovan Nanfeld tonight.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. 1-0. Inside, and Curiel had quite the lead, almost halfway between second and third. He retreats.
You got to be careful. You don't want to be thrown out at second base to make the third out and put yourself out of the inning, especially with Nanfeld, who's been an RBI machine.
2-0. Just inside and high. And Nanfeld is looking that fourth walk of the day straight in the eyes.
Yeah, he's one pitch away.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a big red light here. And there it is. Ball 4, walk 4 on the day for Donovan Nanfeld, who remains perfect.
I like that line. Ball 4, walk 4. That's the definition of Donovan Nanfeld tonight. But hey, as we mentioned earlier, in his last walk, his on-base percentage is going to look quite incredible.
Yes.
Maybe all-star caliber.
Yes. Now, here's an interesting situation.
Yeah.
We've got 2 outs. Bases loaded, down by 1. Carter Sakamoto up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He got the hit. He broke the seal. The confidence is there. Can he deliver for the Corn Dogs when they need it the most? Long windup from Mayo. First pitch is down low.
Well, after you just saw that walk from Nanfeld, you got to take one. You have to take it.
Definitely.
Because that's 5 straight. And if you swing on maybe ball number 6, you're going to be hurting yourself.
Quick turnaround for Mayo. 1-0. And that does catch outside. Strike 1.
That's fine. That's the first strike he's thrown in 7 pitches. Now you can be a little bit more aggressive, but don't be too passive either.
No.
You have to find a good happy medium right now.
1-1 delivery. Big swing and miss from Sakamoto. He turns himself around on that one.
Well, it's the curveball, and I'm willing to bet he's going to see another one. He looked foolish in the last one. You got to sit on the fastball and get ready to try and hit that curveball back up the middle. They're willing to give you up the middle if you can drive it right back to the pitcher.
Sakamoto, he needs this hit now more than ever. 1-2. That's a chopper. Hit foul. Barely caught a piece of that one. He's lucky that made contact.
I don't know about you, Noel, but my heart's racing on my chest right now. Edge of the seat.
Cardiac Corn Dogs are making an appearance here at Legacy Fields. And the Cardiac Kid is over at third. Love to see a wild pitch. Can't get any sort of sacrifice hit here. Have to go straight up. 1-2. And he hits one. And that's going to drop for Sakamoto. Here comes Curiel. And here comes Poplava. Carter Sakamoto, in a big moment for the Corn Dogs, delivers. And that's got to feel good.
Have a night, Carter Sakamoto.
Wow. Another 2 RBIs for Carter Sakamoto. That's his 3rd of the night.
Yeah, he's 2 for 3, and Noel, he might get himself a Macron player of the game.
I mean, with that, that's a huge hit. Puts the Corn Dogs up by 1, and he delivered when they needed it the most. First pitch is just outside to Jaden Deal.
These Panthers Corn Dogs games are turned into heavyweight fights like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, just trading blows.
That one's up high, 2-0 for Deal.
Yeah, you come into this game, you've been 0 for your last whatever it's been, past 20. 0.77 average.
There's a big cut by Deal.
Sakamoto also came into this game with 2 RBIs. So he's already doubled that in one swing of the bat, and he has 3. So he's up to 5 RBIs on the season.
And that's just got to feel so great. 2-1 is outside for ball 3, and not to mention it's also been a little bit of a shaky day for Sakamoto over at third, as he made one great play, a good throw, but no errors, I will say, but just a couple times where a little bit of miscommunication. 3-1, and Mayo loads up the bases once more.
What also doesn't help for Carter Sakamoto is not only is he playing third base for maybe the 3rd time this season, Cal Curriell's playing shortstop for the first time this year. So those two have never really worked together because Sakamoto is either behind the plate, or if he is playing third, it's usually been Tyler Schultz or Donovan Noble. So that lack of communication comes from not being together on the same side of the infield at all throughout the duration of the season.
Colin Small once again finds bases loaded as he fouls one straight back. We have now seen, with Colin Small here, the entire rotation of Corn Dogs. 0-1. Small could really put things ahead here as that one goes down in the dirt, but he puts up the stop sign to all his runners. 1-1.
This is the inning the Corn Dogs have been looking for. They needed the runs, and they've bounced back greatly.
1-1, 2 outs. And that one does catch. Top left corner for strike 2.
I'm willing to say that Mayo's going to go to a curveball here and see if he can drop in for a ball in the dirt and see if Small will go reaching for it.
Small did strike out swinging in his last at bat. 1-2. And he does it again. Strike 3 called, but not before the Corn Dogs grab 2 and 3 and put themselves on top 5-4. We head to the top of the 8th. We'll be sending it over to Andrew Mild for your play-by-play.
Top of the 8th inning from Legacy Field after the Corn Dogs just scored 3 runs. Just a half inning to go to take a 5-4 lead. And now we're in line to pick up the win and go into a tough slate of games tomorrow and Friday. Andrew Mild and Noel Ferry. And we're going to tell you about the pitcher on the mound. That's the new one. It's Mark Torr. Torr has a 2-flat ERA. No record on the season thus far. This will be his 8th game where he has pitched 9 innings, struck out 11, walked 6, and allowed 7 hits. And right now, he's now allowed a run in 5 consecutive appearances. He made an appearance against the Panthers on June 24th when he went an inning, no runs, 1 hit, no walk, no strikeouts. And he's trying to get the hold here and potential appearance from Doug Loden, who might try to save the game if the game is still at 5-4. And before we get the inning started, let's tell you about Colonial Life, who is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Keep unexpecting. Life is anything but expected, including our approach to employee benefits. Visit coloniallife.com to learn more today. And Noel, I'll tell you what was unexpected. It was Carter Sakamoto getting that big hit to drive in 2 runs and give the Corn Dogs the lead.
Yeah, especially on a 1-2 count. Sakamoto reached out and just poked it over the head of Maury Garrett, looking like he might have been able to make a play on it, but Sakamoto delivered in a huge way.
Due up is Jacob White, Maury Garrett, and Pena as White swings at the first pitch from Torres. He's behind 0-1. So we can close the book on Jorge Santos, who came in for James Burke. The Lake County Corn Dogs are 6 outs away from picking up a big W here at Legacy Field. 0-1 is down low, 1-1. If you haven't come to the ballpark yet, you can buy your tickets on corndogsbaseball.com, or you can purchase them here at the park. So that's convenient. You can park your car, walk into the gate, pay for your ticket, and then you can go get yourself off Square Brew or go to the very nice Legacy Field concession stands where you can get yourself a corn dog, maybe a walking taco, hot dog, whatever. They got it. Pretty much anything you can think of. The 1-1 that is out 2-1. They don't have steak, though. They won't have a ribeye out there for you.
No steaks.
No ribeyes. This isn't Arlington, Texas. This is Northern League Baseball. Just be happy with your cheeseburger. But you can put anything on it, so that's good.
You know, they sell steaks at the dollar store.
They do?
Yeah.
2-1 pitch down low, 3 balls and a strike to White now.
They sell.
I don't know if I would trust that.
No, it's an interesting piece of steak. I've watched some videos where some people took it out and cooked it, and they've got, steaks. I've seen fish there, pork chops, all in the frozen section of the Dollar Tree.
I don't know. I don't want to be that person, but I don't know if I trust it. It's kind of like getting sushi from a landlocked state. It's like you're not going to go to Utah and get sushi.
No.
They don't have shrimp in Utah.
No.
3 balls and a strike, no outs. Here comes Tor, and he hits a high fly ball in the center. Gavin Terry's going to have to battle this baseball who's starting its descent. Terry's camped. He has no problem, and he makes the play. 1 out for Mark Tor, and that will send up Maury Garrett.
Yeah, with the way that one sounded, I thought White might have been sending that one over the field, but as we've stated, this hot, humid air is just catching everything, and it was hit a bit too straight up to do any damage.
Exactly. Well, did you ever hear that Michael Jordan, when he got sick for the finals, it wasn't the flu game. They called it the food poisoning game, and they said it was sushi. But then they came back and they said it was pizza.
Isn't that the same game as the flu game, though?
They said it was a flu game, ball 1, and then they said it was more from what he ate the prior night before Game 6, I believe.
And that is the flu game, right?
Yeah, it is. It's the flu/food poisoning game. But flu game is just easier to say.
Exactly.
1-0 is hit to the right. Lanfell's going to give it a look, but he doesn't have a play as it lands right on top of the Panthers batting cage / bullpen.
Yeah, and another funny story from that moment is the famous quote from Jordan for that is, "I ate that pizza.
Yeah.
Only me."
Only me.
And he even was quoted to have spit on the pizza so that none of his other teammates could have eaten.
He ate that pizza like that pizza insulted his family because everything Michael Jordan took was personal.
Yes.
They actually said that Jordan was a pretty decent baseball player when he was playing for the Chicago White Sox organization. Hit on the infield, right side. Colin Small is coming in, and he makes a play on the run, and he catches that off the left side of his head. And there's 2 outs, both by baseballs hit into the air. Nico Pena will now come up. And, no, I think our streak of making Tom laugh has continued.
Yes.
So that's good. That's good. We're doing well for ourselves. So Gavin Terry is on his hitting streak. We're on the make Tom laugh streak.
I think that's every game.
Yeah, every home game. Every home
Hopefully.
game. Did you see that he was on Region Sports Network the other day for the 70 fly ball into shallow left center, and it will be caught by Cal Curial. And 3 up and 3 down for Mark Tor. I'll tell you about it in the bottom of the 8th as the Corn Dogs lead it 5-4. Corn Dogs side of the 8th inning, where the Corn Dogs will come up with Gavin Terry, Cal Curial, and Brett Mathies. The Corn Dogs up 5-4, and this is where the rally started with Terry working a walk, and with him getting a single in the first and a walk, sandwiched between a fly out and a line out. As he sees the first pitch, he bunts one to the left side, and it's a foul ball. It must have hit Gavin Terry out of the box. And if Gavin Terry's in the box, it's a foul ball. If he's out of the box, he's out. So we'll do 0-1 to Terry. And as I was mentioning before, Tom Bialik was on Region Sports Network the other day in Valpo for the 76th annual Soapbox Derby, which I didn't know they still did that. Breaking ball, misses for ball 1. And we just talked to him about it. So what they do is you make the soapbox, of course, which is like a cardboard car. Terry checks his swing. The fastball was up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. And they put him on the incline on the hill and let him go. And he was just telling me, you get up to 35 miles per hour in those things.
Wow.
That's inside. Terry backs out of the way, 3-1. And he goes, and he said there's another hill, so then it levels out, so you slow down. And I just have to ask, Noel, would you have ever won a soapbox derby? Are you crafty? Because I would have been in trouble.
Well.
Ball 4. Terry's on base. The Corn Dogs try to add some insurance runs. That's the 3rd time Terry has been on board.
You know, I'm definitely crafty. I've never participated in a soapbox derby, but I did participate in the Pinewood Derby 2 times.
Pinewood Derby. What is that?
Were you ever a Boy Scout?
No.
See, I was a Cub Scout.
Does it look like I was a Boy Scout?
For 2 years. 2 years I was a Cub Scout in 2nd and 3rd grade. And the Pinewood Derby.
Corral takes it low for a strike. 0-1.
You make the little cars. Have you ever seen that where you're making the
cars
that are about this big and then they race down the little hill?
Yeah, I've done that actually.
Yeah.
When I was at Wheeler Middle School.
There you go.
I did that
and
in Mr. Gabriel's class.
Frankly, I have to say I was robbed of a title because there was one track of the 3 or 4 tracks on the course.
Corral has a chopper off of home plate. It's fielded by Shaw, who goes to White at second. Shaw on the transfer. They're going to say it was on the transfer. Okay. It was not a safe call. Kevin Data was saying it was on the transfer. It was kind of like the same arm sign, so we weren't sure. But it's a fielder's choice for Curial. Terry is out on 5-4, so we can clear that up. So kind of like the same circumstances. There's a runner on first, but this time with 1 out as Terry will head back to the dugout. And that's the first time Curial has gotten on base that will go against. And first pitch swing from Mathies, hits it high in the air. Second base is White, who backs up. No one covering first base, so Curial came off the bag and retreated, and there are now 2 outs very quickly on back-to-back pitches. So anyway, I tried it, and I'm not very good with knives. Like, if someone ever sees me with a knife, they know something's wrong.
Okay.
Because I'm not.
They know you lost it.
They know that I'm probably either trying to return it to its owner or I did something that I shouldn't have a knife for. Curiel's on the move. It's a breaking ball, a throw down from right, and Curiel slides in head first. The ball leaks into right center field. Curiel gets a lead, but he's going to stay there. He wasn't sure where the ball was. And that's the second stolen base for Cal Curiel in this game.
That ball went all the way past both White and Garrett over there at second. Had to bring in Pena all the way from center. Curiel probably could have reached there on third if he had seen it the whole way.
Upstairs 2-0. Well, finish up the story. It was kind of like not angled. It's supposed to come to a point, and the point was going right.
Okay.
Kind of like how I golf. Everything shanks. That's what it looked like. Poplavov swings and fouls it off. 2-1. So, in other words, no, I did not win.
Okay.
I did not do well for myself. I kept the car and then threw it away.
So I'm assuming your car drifted a bit to the right then.
My car actually went straight, but it didn't go fast. 2-1 pitch. Another foul ball to the right side. This one might be playable for Q Noble, who rounds the baseball, and he puts up that oven mitt of a first baseman's glove, and he secures it for the third out. But Lake County Corn Dogs will go into the ninth, possibly with a new pitcher, 3 outs away from securing the victory over the Crestwood Panthers. You're watching Corn Dogs Baseball on the Corn Dogs Broadcasting Network. Top of the ninth. Corn Dogs up 1. Andrew Mild and Noel Ferry here as always, as our ages have slowly started to decrease as we're getting older in life due to these one-run games. And before we get into the inning, let's look at some of our proud sponsors. Crown Antique Mall is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. We offer a unique mix of antiques and collectibles. Visit crownantiquemall.net to view a list of our upcoming market dates. Dining Solutions at Wicker Park is the answer to your catering needs. Whether you have 50 or 400 guests, we can accommodate any type of occasion. Call us today at 219-923-3830. Let us help customize your next special event. Diversified Marketing Strategies is a full-service marketing agency that specializes in all forms of media and advertising. Are you ready to start a project with DMS? Visit us at thinkdiversified.com. That is thinkdiversified.com. If you need help spelling diversified, just put it in the comment section, because I don't know if I could spell diversified on the top of my head. How about you, Noel? Were you ever a spelling bee champion?
No, I was not a spelling bee champion, but I think nowadays I'm pretty good at spelling.
I might have been in my day, I might have been a pie-eating champion.
Okay.
I'm no Joey Chestnut, of course.
Yeah.
When it comes to hot dogs. He'll be defending his title in a week.
It's incredible. Every time I watch it, I have no idea how he does it.
He seems to get better.
Yeah, every single year.
It's incredible.
Well,
He's aging like fine wine. For his case, aging like hot dogs in his stomach with water just pounding down on him.
What is the limit for the human body? It makes no sense.
Never find out. Doug Loden, new pitcher. He delivers the first one, and he induces a swing and a miss from Aidan Wright. So the Corn Dogs will face the top of the order in Wright, Shaw, and Fusick. So not going to be an easy top of the ninth for the Corn Dogs. Loden winds up and he delivers, and he just misses the corner for ball 1. He tried to paint the border. 1 ball and 1 strike for Doug Loden delivers. He worked quick, and he makes a late swing and a miss. Well, late swing and a foul ball off to the right, 1-2. And Doug Loden is trying to lock down yet another save and give the Corn Dogs a big win here at home. Every win in front of these crowds has always been big. The pitch. That's in the dirt. Blocked by Deal, 2-2. Doug Loden, of course, been known for his hitting, but his pitching's been good. 3 appearances, no runs against him, 1 save, 4 innings pitched, 7 Ks, 1 walk, and 1 hit. Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, and the swing and a miss, strike 3. Doug Loden starts off the 9th with a strikeout, his 8th of the year, and there is 1 down.
That's a huge way to start off the inning there, striking out the guy who's 3 for 4 on the night, the leadoff hitter.
Move Aidan Wright to 3 for 5. But in San Diego, with every out, they ring a bell. That's right down the left field line, connected to the Iron West building. Here's the pitch, and that's a miss, 1-0. With 1 out, 1-run game. So maybe the Corn Dogs are going to incorporate that. Instead, at the bottom of the bell, it's maybe a golden corn dog that you can ring. The pitch, and Shaw's behind on it, 1-1. Loading and really gear up that fastball, and he has a good slider. He works on the first base side. He's in his windup, the pitch. Strike 2, right down the middle. You can give Shaw a musical theater ticket there, too. 1-2. Doug Loden wastes no time. Here it comes. That's up and away, 2-2.
And I just love the approach from Loden. Every time he comes into close, he's straight to the point. You know, he's throwing strikes, and either he's going to blow it past you or you're going to hit it.
Break-even pitch. It's a foul ball. Deal. It's not Deal. That is actually Carter Sakamoto behind the plate. So the third base. No, that's Johnston. Okay. Nicholas Johnston has come into the game. Did not get that change. Nicholas Johnston actually climbed onto the railing, almost like Anthony Rizzo did when he did that against the Milwaukee Brewers both times. One onto the tarp and another one onto the concrete layer that protects the people from the fair play. 2-2. Upstairs, it's a full count. That tying run could be on board if Loden misses again. I was actually at the first one when Rizzo did that. One of my favorite moments. Here comes a big payoff pitch. Foul ball, left side. Had to stop for a moment. Thought maybe that could have been fair, the way Sakamoto reacted. But we'll do 3-2 again. And this is where these at-bats for the Panthers really start to pay off, when they are fouling off tough pitches, playing spoilers to the Corn Dogs, and force them to throw more and more pitches. Doug Loden trying to get the strikeout. He gets a ground ball. Curiel gathers, has momentum the first. Danfelt stretches. He's got it. 2 outs. 2 outs after a long, lengthy battle from Shaw and the curly-haired closer. The Corn Dogs are 1 out away, but they have to get through Peter Fusick. Fusick, 2 for 3 on the night with 2 singles, a walk where he scored, and he had a ground out to second. He also has an RBI, so he will add on to his already good lead in that category. The pitch. That is just off the plate. Even Johnston relayed that message to Loden. Loden didn't like it. 1 ball, no strikes. Fusick ready in the box. Loden ready on the mound. The pitch. Foul ball straight back. Coming right towards us up in here in the booth. The good thing for us, there is a high chain link fence protecting us from any 108-stitch white 6-ounce ball coming our way at a high velocity. The 1-1. Hit in the air, right side. Could this do it? Small's going out, and he makes the play. Colin Small has all the range. 2/3 of the world is covered by water. The other third by Colin Small, and he wins the game. Corn Dogs win 5-4, and your player of the game, there's no doubt about it, it's Carter Sakamoto. He's the hero. He can celebrate tonight knowing he gave the Corn Dogs a big win.
It's speed kills, you know, and it was the stolen bases and those great infield plays by Colin Small, and the one to end it out that closes this chapter on the Crestwood Panthers. Corn Dogs take an exciting one at home.
It was an exciting one, to say the least. Corn Dogs come back from a 4-2 deficit and win it by a final of 5-4. We're sending it over to Noel Ferry and the postgame show after this quick break.
Welcome back. Corn Dogs take this one 5-4 here at Legacy Fields on top of the Crestwood Panthers. That moves the Lake County Corn Dogs to 19-7 on the season. Little 3-game win streak currently going on for the Lake County Corn Dogs. And with that, the Crestwood Panthers move to 13-15, snapping a win streak for them. Currently now just one loss. In terms of both teams, Panthers finished this one with 4 runs, 9 hits, and 0 errors. And for the Corn Dogs, it's 5 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. So Panthers take this one with 3 more hits for the Corn Dogs, but Corn Dogs is able to make them count and get a few more walks than the Panthers, and that really was the difference maker. Will Mayo wasn't able to deliver in the clutch moment where he had Carter Sakamoto with 2 strikes on 2 outs, and Sakamoto hit the go-ahead single that scored 2 for the Corn Dogs, and it was right over the head of Maury Garrett. And with that, your Macron player of the game is Carter Sakamoto, who snaps a huge hitless streak for him and gets it done in the best way with the game-winning hit. Put them ahead by 1. And the play of the game, University of Chicago Medicine play of the game, is going to go to Colin Small, who finished off the game with a running, sprinting even, foul ball catch to finish it off and get Doug Loden his save of the night. Doug Loden, wasn't in there the rotation tonight to hit, but came in and delivered for them in a huge moment, went 1-2-3 when they needed it the most. Looking ahead, Corn Dogs travel tomorrow to Dowling Park to take on the Southland Vikings, who won in major fashion today against the Chicago American Giants 16-6, and after that head to Oil City in Whiting to take on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Top 2 teams in the league right there. So the Corn Dogs are going to have quite the challenge in these next 2 days, but with that they move to 19-7. This one's a win here, 5-4 at Legacy Fields. Corn Dogs on top of the Crestwood Panthers. Thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. For Andrew Mild, I'm Noel Ferry. Until next time.